We're late, but it doesn't even matter.
Did we not start past 10?
Yeah, but people don't get that. They think 10 p.m. is when, because it says in the credits 10 p.m. People, it doesn't matter anyway. We're late. It doesn't matter though. Hardly anybody's gonna be watching this. It's gonna be our least watched episode live numbers, probably. I don't know. If it is, it's Andrea's fault. So I'm just putting that out there. The executive committee has failed us. What do you call it? The Russian judge.
Russian judge.
Hey,
I got censored out of the intro.
Hey,
I had a lot to say, and I was not allowed. My character was assassinated brutally. By the way, notice that on the intro it said Wednesday. There was I suppose we're going to start off with that. There was a coup attempt here at Left Past 10.
It wasn't a coup.
Yeah.
It was a coup attempt.
I wasn't going to go live with 3 new hosts.
Well, it was very
That
similar.
would be a coup.
It was
that
very
would be
similar.
me saying, ha ha.
So like imagine my
show.
situation. I'm, crying in a corner somewhere and I get a text message from this guy who runs the show and says, "Hey, we're thinking about," who's we, by the way, thinking about switching to Thursday because some other show is apparently on today. I don't know. I don't watch.
There was a full explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Leftist Mafia is doing Wednesday the next 2 weeks. We may collaborate with them, one of them, but let's go Thursday instead of Wednesday because there'll be a whole bunch of people on Thursday with nothing to fucking do, nothing to watch. We can nab all those views, but no, now we're competing with the most popular. This is why we do Wednesday, is because they're on Thursday.
No,
so
we're
if they're
doing
on Wednesday. It would logically make
middle of the
sense
week.
that we were going Thursday.
No, see, I don't.
Or
This is
Thursday
Left
next
Past
week,
10. This is a
Thanksgiving.
real show. We don't change our time on the whims of some other show. Like, oh, some other show is doing Wednesday now. Good for them. They stepped on our shit.
This is like, hey, Andrea, your new sitcom has been greenlit. It's going to be awesome. You're going to get the cast, the writers. It's going to be in front of a live studio audience. It's going to be on opposite Seinfeld. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm down.
Then you'd be like, oh, what does it have to be? And they're like, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If Seinfeld changed to like take up my time slot, it'd be like, oh shit, Seinfeld is trying to compete with me. It's like when a competitor like buys your company, like, oh, we're gonna buy that company just to integrate their systems into our company.
One day
like,
when you go
jealous.
home, and then one day when you're off air, everyone will realize that was the better show. We know now.
No, Andrea's not running the stream on her channel.
Well,
somebody asked. You can go on any one of our channels that's in the show notes.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just fucking play cards. Okay?
All right, fuck it. I got my cards. All right.
Go fish.
I don't need fish.
Okay. Does anybody have Finance David Bowie is the King of Hearts?
Yes, I have Assless Chaps Prince.
Oh.
That's not Finance David Bowie. You gotta go fish.
Oh, my bad.
I got Liquid Beast. Anybody?
Okay.
You gotta ask if they want to, if they've got it, like one person.
Wouldn't it be my turn now? Because I know.
Yeah,
we're taking turns.
Yeah. It's go fish, or are we playing poker?
Then never mind. Finance. Please don't poke anybody. I don't need that happening.
I've got the.
It's funny because in Go Fish, it's like whoever's youngest gets to go first, which is ageism.
It is, but that's also tradition. So, Andrea, you want to take us out?
I'm gonna take myself out. Thank you all.
No,
son of a bitch!
Get back here, Andrea.
All right.
She'll be back. She better be back.
There's a decent amount of Bowie, I gotta say.
I've got a decent amount of magic, love, joy.
I did. If we were playing poker, I got a pretty good fucking hand. I don't think somebody shuffled these very well last time they played solitaire.
You know what?
I think
Let's
I
go.
I got 6 sixes right here.
Oh shit! Seriously? Okay, that beats
And
my.
I got
4
UFO turtle.
jokers. What's a
UFO
joker in
turtle.
poker?
You got the
Joker.
best
It's
looking
whatever you
card.
want it to be. Jokers are wild
Oh.
this time.
I have 8 sixes,
Jesus Christ!
and they're all purple. I don't get it.
Hey, that's a question. Is there an official, like, if you're playing with wild cards in poker and you've got 4 of a kind and a wild card,
I don't gamble.
can you
Ah.
have 5 of
Wrong
a
guy to
kind?
ask.
I do, on the other hand.
Our whole lives are gambles.
Do you? A good point. Do you play poker, Sandy?
No.
Me neither.
No, but I used to like to go to the casino when it was quarters, where you can get really dirty fingers in the old days before it was, just have walk around with the pail of quarters. Not computerized, Andrea. It used to be real money
Oh yeah.
like that. And I love roulette, and I used to win. But I've been to the casinos a lot in my day.
I played
Vegas,
roulette once.
There were
Didn't go so well.
conferences there. I went for work to the conference and then would gamble.
Oh, in Vegas. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, work conferences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The convention center there was
Yep.
wild.
Yeah.
Because I went one time when there was a Carney convention going on.
Oh,
It was wild. It was like a Twin Peaks episode. And
jeez.
you always get like random Elvis impersonators walking around. And there was one who was drugged out Elvis. So he was sweaty, like disheveled, and he would always walk by and be like, "Got any poppers? Got any
Oh
got
God.
any blues?" You know?
Oh, so
He
it
was a
wasn't an
weirdo.
act. It was just.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It was really
No, that's just their unique and creative way to get free
What
drugs.
were your conferences, Matt? What was the one you went to?
the screen print industry, and for a little while the
Very
ski
cool.
apparel. But the ski
Okay.
apparel one
Oh, you
moved to
told us
Denver.
about that. Yeah.
I was
That's cool.
like 20 minutes away instead of getting to go to Vegas.
I used to go to Society of Human Resource Management
In Vegas. That's
in
funny.
Vegas, and
That's
everywhere. I
ironic.
went. You know what? I went every year for like 18 to 20 years. I don't know.
So you
every
go to
year.
Vegas to learn
Well,
how
no,
to be
one year is Vegas,
decent
1 year is
person.
in San Francisco, New Orleans, every city in the country I
see.
got to go
That's
to.
cool.
And
Cool.
but Vegas happened to be just a couple of times. I took my daughter on her 21st birthday with me, and she went out. I'm in my conference, and she goes and she comes back and she gets this big ass tattoo on her leg. It is a black and white human heart. Okay, it's a human heart. So
It's not bad.
It was huge. And she was, tiny thing. So we're walking around. She's got her little shorts on, and people are staring at her leg. And I'm like, she's gonna be a surgeon. But now, I mean, she's completely tattooed, except her arms, because she's works, but she's pretty.
I love the
pretty good.
idea that like you can't have tattoos and have a job. Where did that come from?
No, you
Like, what
can.
the fuck?
But if you keep them off your arms, it's just a little more legit. I have them on
Well,
my.
why-
I mean,
what-
I'm tattooed.
I don't.
I was always tattooed.
It's
but
different now. I think it used to be
Yeah.
like a gang affiliation. thing.
Yeah. Well, no, it was just not professional. But everybody has tattoos. I mean, even
I don't have them.
even when I was still. Oh, okay. Well, when I was still working, I had loads of them. I just didn't have. I didn't have the.
You don't
what
have them
happened to 'em?
anymore? Like what happened to them?
No, I have them, Andrea.
Well, you said had. Past
Okay,
tense.
I
They go.
have them. They are currently inhabiting my body. The
I
ink.
see.
Yes, my whole back is done. Yeah, I am a tattooed female. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Or rumor like a surgeon getting tats for
Hey.
the very first time. No,
Like a
actually, it wasn't her first tattoo.
surgeon.
Me and her dad took her for her first tattoo when she was, I don't know, 16, because we thought, well, if we take her, she won't do anything behind her back. And actually, she never did. And she got a star on her leg. She's the coolest as shit person. Man, she's been in the movies.
So
Yeah,
what's on
it was
your
good the way it
back
was.
tattoo? The Virgin Mary and a lowrider, or Los Angeles?
No, I've got big cats, and I've got a bunch of stuff that's mushed together roses and cats and all this crap I collected over the years, comedy and tragedy masks. My kid's
Everybody's
gotten into
multitasking, Sandy. Look at these.
He's shaving. Well, what do
Well,
I do?
I'm still
okay.
listening.
Here's
Sandy,
my
how-
multitask.
I like the
How
can we
comedy
see
and
these
tragedy
tattoos?
masks. I do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's all hypothetical.
No, I'm
you gotta
never
have
going to
pictures.
show them. I have pictures, but I'm not showing them.
You could just
now.
lie about. You want to know what my back tattoo is?
What?
Yes.
I don't have one. Oh, I do have a
Okay.
little one. I have a little gargoyle as my first tattoo. A little, it's like solid black
Let me see if
silhouette of
I
a
have
little
a-
winged.
Let me see if I
Gargoyle.
have a picture of Dawn's. I don't know. She's got a really gorgeous back piece, but mine
No
are-
tattoos here. Just for the reference, too scared.
Jake
That
needs to
shit's
shave his whole
scary.
head tonight. Yeah, he needs to be
That's
hairless
fucking
by the
scary.
end of the episode.
All right, $30,000 of super chats. Jake will shave his head bald on stream.
You guys send me $10. I'll make sure Jake gets it, and he will
Now-
shave his head bald.
Now wait a minute.
$30,000.
We'll let
Is
him go
there
full stream.
an amount of money we can get out of having a different hairstyle? I could do the middle manager goatee.
Faux hawk?
$10,000 mohawk.
Yeah, you know what? For
cultural
$1,000,
appropriation.
just $1,000, and not $1,000 divided up between all these people. Give me $1,000. No, I'll be a broke. Fine. Collectively, $1,000. You get a mohawk.
Live on stream.
really.
So in theory, you could just send me $900.
Oh.
I'll do the other 100, and we're there. That's That's probably the easiest path to 1,000.
Mine.
Well, we can give each other money. Does that count?
You can give
Each
me money.
other? Okay.
I'm talking about, of course.
looking
Why?
for-
You don't have to ask.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for telling me.
So okay, so Sandy, it's cats. 2 cats on your back.
Oh, all kinds of shit. I found one of me on my back, and I found Dawn's.
So
But I-
now these are 2 cats you used to know back in the day, or actual feline cats?
Where
Like
is this hair
domesticated
going?
animals?
Like-
Feline cats. Although I
It's
did
going
have,
everywhere.
believe it or not, I did have names on my ankle, and I got them covered up.
Oh,
Really, that's how stupid it is. I'll put them in Discord, but you said you don't look in the Discord.
no, during the show, it's
I know, but
um.
I'll put them in there anyway.
Should we?
There's my daughters, and there's me.
If you right click on Discord and hit
Okay.
copy image link and then
Mhm.
post that in the private chat, that would circumvent Matt's need to open another program, which he
All
is
right, what does
apparently
it say?
incapable of doing.
What does it say? Open image and new. No, what is it?
Copy image link or open image and new tab, as long as you get the link. That's what's important.
Open. Oh, okay. Hang on. I don't know if
Should-
this will work. We'll see.
In the meantime, should we do a check in on Jake and Andrea's Blue Sky competition?
Oh, they
Yeah,
do?
absolutely.
I don't know if this will work.
For an
So-
unrelated reason, I have to step out for a second.
No, it doesn't.
I-
Clean up the
hit-
hair clippings all over.
It
I hit
doesn't work.
2,000,
You had 2,000.
so I'm not sweating it.
All right. Well,
Well, you're not
just
in the fucking competition. 'Cause
Well,
you got these fucking people. Hey, just post my Blue Sky, dude. Like, I don't have this
it's
network
very.
to do things for me.
You got to be interactive. You got to be here with these.
I'm not
folks. You gotta
interacting. You
work
think
with them.
I'm not gonna be? I'm not gonna work on shit. You're lucky I do.
Well,
this
you're
show.
at
Can't even see
495,
mine.
and I think you were at like 430 something last week. So you're
My
doing good.
glasses.
You're
See, this is the thing
495.
is I can't use Blue Sky anymore. Once you shouted me out, now too many people are following me. People I don't know. What if I say something wrong? What if someone gets mad at me? The stakes are too high. So I'm
That
never.
doesn't
gonna use
happen
Blue
here.
Sky again.
I
This
like
is a
Blue
very
Sky.
positive. Everyone's cool.
Yeah, it's really good now. It's
There's
still,
a couple of trolls obliterated. There's actual moderation until the FCC is under the Trump administration. You can have moderation here, but they might make it so that you can't because they're picking a guy. I forget his name, but he's hardcore. You cannot discriminate against Nazis because it's a violation of their First Amendment rights, and it's just he's going to go across social media and probably make that illegal. But Jake is at 33.
That's not bad.
I mean, there's been no movement in the last week. So
What, of people following?
Your mic's muted, but this is a good bit. Yeah, and then you got to figure out. Okay,
I'm at go to hell. I'm at 33. That sounds pretty good.
I don't know how
What
to
was
do
Andrea's?
that.
Did I win this thing?
Andrew's at 495. So I think the deal was whoever lost or had the least a week later tonight. I tried to buy you an extra day.
Right. I think
Has to
maybe
eat
that'll
something
work.
fucked up
No.
of the other person's.
I never said fucked up. It's a sandwich of my choosing.
That's true.
Oh, okay. I'm just assuming it's going to be fucked up.
Oh, of course not. Have I ever suggested in my entire life a fucked up sandwich of any kind? I don't think so.
Are you being serious?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay.
Jake,
Yeah,
I
that was
can't,
amazing.
I can't
was-
get this picture thing to work. So
It's
if
not my
you
fault.
can-
You
did.
have the taste buds of a
I
fucking
don't know how to do it.
13-year-old and you can't eat fine cuisine. That's not my fault.
It's
Here,
not even
wait,
true.
Sandy.
I was
What?
eating udapon the other night. Thank you very much.
I don't even know what that is.
Go
Thank
back.
What?
you very much.
What were you eating?
Udapon.
Udapon. Udapon? Put-a-pon. Grey poupon?
Sandy, the link says wrong turn. That is awesome.
I know. They're not. Yeah, I can't get it to work. I don't know how to get it to work. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. So let
What
me
is
say
Jake
hi out
shaving
there.
now?
Hi out there to my Gene and Looney Tunes.
Not
two
the
mods.
balls, but the undercarriage.
You want to turn the camera back on just so we know what you're saying and talking about?
Sure. Not the balls. Well, I was trying to get. Here's the thing. My electric razor. I've been trying it out. Oh no. In various outlets.
Actually, you
And this is the
shaved
only one that
pretty
worked.
quickly with that thing, man.
Well, not quite finished, but yeah.
Well, a little haphazard, but you're all right.
Yeah, we'll get there. I just gotta get a little. Yeah, there's that goodness.
Does that
All
like
right.
hurt you like a real razor? Like can you
No, it's
cut
just like
yourself
shearing a
with it?
sheep. Oh God,
Dave, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing on the show when we're about to fucking go in the apocalypse, and he's shaving.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Come on, Jake, copy
Deal
the
it.
pictures because I can't do it.
wait a minute. I want to do this like NASA.
Like NASA wants to take
Yeah.
off. All right, so what's going on?
So open up
everybody?
Discord again. Wait a
Well,
minute, Sandy.
well,
Open up
What do you
Discord
like?
again.
Cape
He wants
Canaveral
me
here.
to- okay, and then what?
All right, put your mouse over the picture, like the
I
actual
did.
image.
I
Right
did.
click.
I did.
Okay. Do you see something that says open image in new tab?
Yes,
Click that.
I did, and then I
Go to
have
the new
to
tab.
Yep.
You're in the new tab now.
Yeah,
All right, copy the URL.
I did, and it says blob before the HTTPS, and that's what's screwing it up. So let's get rid of the-
Copy it anyway.
I used to
No,
do
I already did that
tutorials
twice.
where
This is awesome. This
I
is
used to
really
do
cool.
tutorials where I would project
Fine.
my screen up on a
Okay.
big monitor, and I'd say, "Okay, everyone, make
I'll
your
try
screen
it again, but I don't think it's gonna work.
make your screen look like mine, right?" And I'd arrange the palettes and everything. It was for a graphics program, and
Nope,
I would
it
say,
doesn't work, Jake.
"Does everyone's look like mine?" And this
No,
one
no.
person was like, "Mine doesn't," and I was like, "What? Here, let me come look." And I was like, "Oh, you got to turn the computer on."
Sandy.
It's like, and
which
then
picture
open the
is it?
program.
What?
Sandy, did you drop it in the group chat?
Hold on, I'm opening
Yes.
Discord
They're not.
No, I
working.
mean in
against my
Discord.
better judgment.
One's my
So
daughter.
click on
and
it. Click
they're
copy
me.
link.
I'm not doing it.
Well, I mean,
No.
they
I'm just
changed
asking.
they changed the text because Discord does this thing where they update every 15 seconds and change all the text for everything. So
Oh.
instead of whatever it was before, it's just copy link now. And then
Ah,
you
Oh,
can post
by
that
the
directly in
way,
the private
I
chat.
want to tell you, I'm no longer taking up bandwidth. I'm not streaming to Twitch anymore. I got rid of the channel.
Oh,
I don't moderate it. I had 68 followers. Nobody watches there. I'm just sticking to YouTube, Blue Sky, and I'm keeping our Facebook going because all of a sudden it's perking up since I started putting up.
is this on Facebook?
Triggering.
Do you
We
post
have-
this show?
we have not this show, but I do post. We have a page and a group. There's almost 20,000 people that follow the page. And so that's why when I put that triggering meme up, which everybody on my channel has seen it, it was good. It broke Facebook. 6,000, probably over 7,000 now.
Can you show us the meme or
I can,
whatever?
but I have to put it in Discord.
Yeah, drop it in Discord. I'll do the link.
Alright.
Look at this.
You will.
Nadia Yvette Chambers, the new evangelicals, said Christian nationalism expert Matthew Taylor broke out in tears during their interview with him about Christo-fascist coup. Matthew Taylor is one of the good ones, right? I know the new evangelicals are killer. I love those guys. But
Yeah.
like Matthew Taylor is
I can't believe he's shaving.
oh, okay, so he's calling it the Christo, man, that's a fucked up.
Christo-fascist. Christo-fascist.
Why aren't we just calling him
coup.
Christian
The
fascist?
new
man?
evangelicals said Christian nationalism is whatever it is. Oh,
That's too bad. Broke out in tears.
Nadia,
Well, I
she's
mean, these are
with
tough times.
me.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
look
I
at
mean,
that.
it sucks, and it's gonna suck real hard for a real long time.
I'd
will
love to
say this, though.
emphasize coup, by the way. Go on, Jake.
Yes,
It's not
coup.
the end of things.
Is this Henson
coup.
razor? No, that's some disposable Bic razor, dude.
Yeah.
You spend $70 one time, and then you just buy cheap.
There's a
fucking
fly.
razor
There's a
blades.
fly.
They
Bee.
are.
Some razors
There's a
Perfect.
bee.
last-
Spider.
some
Spider.
razors last
Spider.
forever,
There's a
especially if you
spider
don't
on
give
your
a shit
shoulder,
about
left shoulder.
shaving anymore.
Spider.
Andrew's trying to get you to cut yourself, dude.
Oh, right when I'm doing the neck. Okay.
No
Nah.
straight razor.
I'll tell you
Alright.
what you do. You buy one $1 razor once, and you use it until the blades are red with rust
Yeah,
and jammed up full of
That's-
hair.
that's about my.
And you keep
I'm telling
using
you,
it. You
man.
bash it against the side of the sink, and you keep using it until one day you lose it, and then you go
Oh.
buy another, and you buy about 4 razors throughout your life.
That Henson razor is
That's
the
literally
best
what I
fucking
do.
shave of
because
all time.
I don't need to shave that much, so I only use it like once every 2 weeks. So that
The
is
chats
literally
are
what I do.
The chats are funny.
I've had one razor for like a year now.
It's the
Yeah.
perfect distance between the blade and your face. It's perfect. It's
All right, Jake, put up
Take
that meme, and we'll at least laugh at that.
All right.
The one that
Did you put it
says,
in the group chat?
yeah,
You
I
gotta
put them
just-
all in there.
I'm
I'm
curious
in
how
the
like
group chat.
if you have,
I
like, a
don't
white
see it.
towel.
In the Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the group chat.
All right,
In
I'm
our
gonna
chat.
refresh Discord.
Refresh it.
I went on there too. I didn't see anything.
What? There's 4 freaking pictures in there.
You might be putting them on the environmental. It might be in
No,
like the
I'm
general
on
chat or
yours. No, I'm
Sure.
in here with Andrea WYCD, the letter hack. Have I done something wrong? They're in there.
I love this show. This is awesome. Like this
I
is
Forgive
in
me, I'm gonna
there.
relaunch to
This-
update
we're
Chrome.
I have-
watching
we do this behind the
Andy's trying to
scenes.
solve a Discord image.
They're
Jake's
here.
shaving his face.
We do this
They're
behind the scenes, and I'm just sitting there going, "Why aren't we on air? What the fuck? This is
Okay,
pure
I'm
gold.
going
Why
to
aren't we doing this live?"
show you. I'm going to show you the Discord on my phone.
Oh, now I'm over here.
And I'm going to look.
Switching me a goddamn
Oh,
round.
wow.
All-
Why don't I see them? I don't see them on the phone either. Oh,
All
Thank
these
you,
people
thank
are gonna come from. They're gonna
Well-
raid us from the leftist mafia, and it's gonna
And
be
we're gonna
like,
be
"What
like,
the fuck is
yeah,
going on?"
why aren't they in there when I put
In
them
other
there?
words, perfect.
They're gonna come here and frame one. They're gonna look at us and be like, "Why the f- was I
don't get
wasting
it.
my time
Thank
with
you,
that other
Chaz.
show?"
No, we're
Now,
just, you know what
is
we're doing?
Chaz in
We're
my
You know,
chat?
it's a little. Can I
this
just?
is
it's a
called
little-
stress reduction. We've
it's a
had
little
a
fucked up.
fucked up time.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We're having stress reduction in the United States right now. We need to have a little of that. We're
We
not
need to shave
talking
our face
about-
live on stream. You know, like
Yeah.
Okay.
this is the only way to cope.
Yeah, we need stress reduction, right, guys? Gene, don't we need stress reduction? We need fun
so.
and non-serious everything.
Well, Jeannie is fine. She voted for Jill Stein, so if
Oh
she's
my God.
conscious is-
We're not going there. Shut up. I'm not doing it. Shut up. Shut up.
oh,
All
I don't.
I
You know,
will
she's
get
good to
it.
go.
Shut
She
up.
did nothing
Sons of
wrong.
bitches
I'm
making me
going
laugh.
to upload these pictures
Huh.
again.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll do it again. And this time it should be in there. Okay. I did it. What I didn't do was upload them. I just,
Oh, we got the pink
I,
coffee
I,
house
I,
logo.
yeah,
Okay,
that's
thanks
one.
for the
That's
$5 and the
overshoot.
clarification.
And now I need,
The new evangelical say Christian nationalism expert. Thank you. Matthew Taylor broke down crying during their interview of him about the Christo-fascist coup.
oh,
He's got to say
I
it quick.
feel for
Christo-fascist.
people. I found this guy that I'm going to have on as a guest who used to be an evangelical pastor. He's in his 50s. He's got long hair and tattoos but I found his channel and I wrote to him. I said, "Dude, you want to come on my show?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to talk to somebody that lived that and now is not." So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
I gotta remember his
here's what
name.
we were trying real hard to get up on screen, right? This?
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Pretty
what is
much.
Overshoot?
Oh, you don't
Is
know
that
what
a video
overshoot?
game?
No, overshoot is what we are doing to the planet. We are overshooting our
Oh.
boundaries, and our boundary.
Yeah.
But the real one, we're overshooting by resource depletion
Great meme.
and using everything. But only I put the overshoot in. Look at the original meme, the one that triggered because half the people in the world don't know what overshoot means. But the other one is the one that really broke Facebook. I mean, really, there's probably at least 700. 700 No,
I-
not
It's
in
not
it.
global warming.
Not
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah, the
I hate to
global
do
warming
this.
one.
I hate
What?
to do this. But Gene in the chat, I'm an anarchist. Don't even bother with me. Motherfucker, I'm also an anarchist.
Oh, are
what does
we?
that
We're
mean?
not doing this
I'm an
tonight.
anarchist.
We
Look
are
how
not.
cool I am.
We're
Give
not
me a
doing
break.
this.
You're
We're
an
not.
anarchist.
we're
Come
not
on.
doing
You're
this
watching a
tonight.
show about someone shaving their face and we're talking about global warming and you're trying to, I'm an anarchist, actually.
I don't know
We're
what
not doing this.
anarchist is at this
We're
point.
not
Can
doing
somebody
this.
give me
Yeah, there's a lot of different definitions, right?
Somebody gave a good definition. I don't know if it was like a Marxist view of it or whatever. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I've never heard that definition of it before. And now I
Anarchism is
can't remember
essentially
what it
there's
was.
no hierarchies, right? So like,
That's it.
that doesn't
Yes,
mean necessarily
no
that there's no
leader.
like you could have a leader if
Right.
people choose to
Well, so not.
voluntarily say we elect this guy to do this thing or whatever, like, but they don't have any position of power. It's more of like
Right.
a management thing.
I
Like
just don't
it's like,
understand
no one wants to clean the floors, someone has to do it, right? So
how
that
it
doesn't
would
mean that they
work.
have more power over you.
Right. But humanity doesn't get along inherently. And there's always
Yeah.
a structure. So anarchy is an experiment. I mean, seriously,
There
for
was,
how I've been watching different historical things, and I don't know. I'm
You
learning.
think Jake cut his neck and is now bleeding out on the floor?
Oh God,
if
let's hope not.
I'm correct.
I don't, if he
I'll
doesn't
show
come
you
back
these
bald,
pictures
I don't
on
care.
here. There's no fighting. We're not
Touch
having
ups.
any stress
And I want you to
tonight.
know what y'all just witnessed is
just
the man
wonderful.
equivalent of taking your bra off
Okay.
through your sleeve.
That's my
To
daughter.
shave with
back.
a camera. Oh, that's cool
Oh,
as fuck.
wow.
That's my kid's back.
Oh, that's
Wow.
cool.
How would she
Nice.
feel if she knew that you were posting that? Like,
Oh,
here's my
loves showing
child's back
tattoos.
art.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I
you
don't
can't
know.
you can't see mine because I got the tree of life on the bottom and I got everything's covered there. You can't really see them.
I mean, you're the one
but
who took the picture that way, right? I mean,
I didn't take
theoretically.
that. I was in okay, let's get the global warming up. This is what broke Facebook.
Well, yeah,
Global
because the
warming.
globe
I got
ain't
it, I got it.
warming. It's not like,
Well, what broke Facebook is everybody having to argue that they know the science and the scientists don't. And the big denier thing is always this. Well, Al Gore, he's been saying that it was gonna happen and it hasn't happened yet. Meanwhile, their friggin' neighbor's house is burning down.
just a reminder,
There's
Al Gore
fires.
won the 2000 election, but the
Yeah.
Democrats are pussies and they let the Republicans steal it. By the way, that's happening again this year.
Exactly, it is. And Planet Critical, Rachel, that is the Rachel Donald, wonderful journalist, and Planet Critical wrote an amazing piece on just that. There it is. There it is. Cybersecurity experts warned election was hacked. Musk is guilty as fuck. And I love Rachel. And she's spectacular. And she does
Who is
great
gonna do
interviews.
anything about it? Yeah, okay.
Nobody.
I read this. I want to read more from Rachel Donald. Who is gonna
Can we get
okay,
Rachel on the show?
let's say it was
Ooh.
100% proven. We
No, I was
already
gonna-
know he led an insurrection.
Doesn't
We already
matter.
know he's been convicted of 34 felonies and rape. And
A recount has to be requested. And
who's
she
gonna
conce-
do that?
she
Who's gonna do
Nobody?
shit, man?
She conceded too fast. Well, actually, I saw a video on Tom Hartman's show with that guy, the expert in this. His name, it starts with an S.
They made
It
billions of
got
dollars.
almost 1 million views on that one because everybody wants to know about how could something like this be pulled off if it was.
I
So
forget-
Gene, the dumb fuck in the chat. Oh,
Oh,
goody, election
God.
denial.
Stop.
Like, okay, this is the thing. This is
Gene,
called facts.
Gene.
You follow the fucking facts. All right. The
Gene.
Trumpers know the facts. They know that our elections.
Gene,
Who muted Andrea?
I
My
did
fuck-
not. Gene,
They know
I
the
want us.
elections are
Can I
fucky
talk
wucky.
for a minute?
Hold
Go
on,
for it.
Andrea.
I'm going to talk.
Go for it.
Gene, what we're discussing is the fact that there's all kinds of
Facts,
things
by
that
the
could
way, facts.
possibly go on. Yes, they're learning facts. It's not. And I saw, I want to mention that Kyle
Adolf
Quincy is
Hitler was
hilarious.
a vegetarian. Does that mean all vegetarians are evil? What the fuck is wrong with you,
Can we
Gene? Are you
not
fucking
do this?
stupid?
But
I'm
can we
sorry.
not tonight, please?
Gene knows that I
really
don't want them to
this.
like kill themselves or anything. We're
No,
just having like
Gene
a fun
knows.
banter here. Like
But-
they attack me, I attack them.
If
Like,
there
Trump
is-
drinks water. Does drinking water make you a fascist? That's
Don't
your
feel
argument,
attacked.
Gene.
Don't
If
That's
feel
your
there
attacked.
fucking
is-
argument. It's a stupid fucking
there
argument.
is-
It's low IQ, dunderhead, dumb
Don't
fuck
feel
loser.
attacked. Don't feel attacked.
She's
You're-
a
Oh,
moderator.
I feel very attacked.
Now,
Personally?
let's stop and explain
gotta
that.
appreciate-
There's the
oh, go ahead.
potential for things that we've never dreamed about with AI and hacking and tampering and all that. Now, when 2020 happened, okay, they had no verifiable facts of anything. Is there election tampering in small little things? Probably. There's been some things that have happened in different towns, but this is something that we are absolutely not prepared for.
70
don't know
different
about.
counties had bomb threats.
Right,
Oh,
that's
just
true.
like Trump. You're
And
Trump.
nobody's doing anything about it
Ooh,
though.
You're
But
just
nobody's
like Trump. I'm sorry that we follow the facts. I'm sorry. I've been saying 2000 was a stolen election as long as I've been doing this show before the 2020 election. So Trump was copying me, right? Oh, Trump's just
But
like
this is-
Andrea. I'm so
this is-
Well,
smart.
yeah.
Hold
Al
on,
Gore
that's
and the
just-
hanging Chad.
Fucking moron. Come on. Jesus fucking
Okay,
Christ.
so here's the thing. No one's gonna do anything about it. There's
Oh,
been
yeah, that's true.
all
Right.
kinds
Democrats
of look
fucking
at
stuck.
money in politics. Look at
Mhm.
all the members of the Republican Party who were in on that
course.
insurrection, and they're all still that okay. Andrea had a show. This is way back before I was ever doing anything on YouTube. And I was watching the show, and it was about Matt Gaetz. And I said in the chat, that guy will be president one day. And now look
This.
at where Matt Gaetz
Attorney
is
General.
and tell
In the
me he's
line of
not 4
succession.
fucking years away from being the president. This is nothing
It's the
matters
pedophile White
anymore.
House. That's all it is.
It
Like,
is.
It's
It's
pedophile.
the
all-
pedophile White House.
They
It is
want you
the sexual
distracted by this
abuser.
shit. They
Mhm.
want you distracted by it with the intention of never doing anything. So what you need to do is learn how to fight back.
Can we
You
talk
need
about
to learn how to
something
locally
also?
organize.
What is this
Yeah.
whole concept?
you,
This
Matt.
is like the
I
same
really do like
Republican
that.
stuff where it's like, oh, you have an emotional response to something. Triggered. That's what Gene is, the Republican fucking op in the chat. Triggered.
Okay.
I triggered you. I said something dumb
Listen,
and you said I was dumb.
Is this
Triggered.
going to
Triggered
happen
liberals. Oh,
every-
they're so triggered. Oh my God. I said something verifiably stupid and someone said I was dumb. Oh,
Are we going to do this
triggered. I'm a
every
chat
show?
troll. Yeah,
Hold
that's- if someone
I-
trolls me, I'm like,
Sandy
"Come on,
thought
it's
I
hard."
got triggered by Keith Hayes. Was it?
Yeah, Keith.
And I didn't.
Keith
I was
triggers
just.
me.
But she was like, Matt, you're getting way too upset about this. And I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not upset at all. I'm just
Okay.
responding to it.
No, I'm
Now,
fine. I love
get
the
triggered.
banter. I
I-
love making fun of Jean. Oh,
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
embarrassed for her. I said something stupid and then she called me stupid. Oh, this is so
But
embarrassing.
Andrea,
Oh, if you point
this-
out anything at all about the world and Trump also did it one time ever, then that means you're just like Trump.
do
I'm
you
so
guys
smart.
rehearse that?
Trolled. I trolled you guys. Hey guys, it's Jean here.
Okay, let's
Trolled
take-
Jean.
All right, you got
Can
her.
we take a deep breath
Zinger.
now?
He's down.
Let's take
You got a
a
big
deep
cat.
Zinger.
breath.
Easy
Okay,
tiger.
Let's do it. Easy, Tiger.
Easy,
Let's
big
breathe.
guy.
I'll read you the calming card if you'd like.
And I
Andrea.
said, easy,
you probably
big
could
fella.
use one.
What's that for?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
A calming card? No, Matt didn't.
I could use a calming card.
Do you know what that's from? What I just
What?
easy, big fella.
Easy big. Oh, it's
No.
a movie. It's a
No.
movie, but what movie?
That's where
Easy,
George
big
Costanza
fella.
was pretending to be
Seinfeld.
what do you,
Oh.
the
Seinfeld.
whale washed
Right,
up.
the marine
Right.
biologist.
Is anyone here a
I
marine
can't even-
biologist? And
I
he's
can't
like,
open the box. I'm not. Nobody wants to have the wisdom of the crone card read to them.
okay,
Forget
that's
it.
not tarot.
I'm
I
down
thought
to
you
get
had
calm.
tarot cards.
No,
She
these
told
are
you it wasn't.
these are like inspirational.
I don't know what crone meant.
Okay,
I
a
thought it was like
crone is
an
old-
addition.
No,
A crone
There's
is
all
like a
kinds of
witch without the magic.
additions
right,
and
right.
themes.
I've reached a status in life where I'm a crone. I have the wisdom,
I
I
hope
have
to get there.
all of it. I hope.
Oh,
you
I
do
was
too.
born crone.
Are
I think you
an
meant
old
crone.
lady.
Are you talking about the hair color? Chrome?
Magic. When we
Ah.
were children, many of us knew magic was real, as if it was validated in our lives almost daily by synchronicity. Magic is the essence of spirit quest, initiation into the deeper realms of consciousness, and our connection to source. To have magic in our lives is to remember it is real, profound, and sacred. I mean, all of these cards are spiritual, leading to make you feel better. And I did a show like that once,
That
and it
makes
was
me feel better.
fun. You know, there's one on love. Love is our saving grace. Self-love can be our greatest challenge. Once we love ourselves
Practice that a great deal.
unconditionally, it spirals outward to give others and grows infinitely. That this is my card. Practice acts of kindness and know love is the closest word to the divine. So there, Andrea, that was for you. I love you.
Thank you. I appreciate I'm sorry for bullying your chat mods for being fucking low
No,
IQ.
Yes.
leave
Dumb
Jean
fuck,
alone.
dumpster
Guess what?
sludge.
Jean thinks differently
Well,
than
this-
Yeah, she doesn't believe
and
in
that
facts.
is
She doesn't believe
nothing.
that.
Okay,
Oh,
all
bomb
right, we're
threats
not going
doesn't
there.
matter.
We're not
But
going
that's
there.
nothing compared to what Keith Hayes
I
said
don't
to
even think
me
she was in the country right
on
then
my last
at
show.
that time.
I gotta
Hayes
watch
came
this.
on and said, "This show is normally too conservative for me," and I was like,
Oh,
"My
oh,
show
that
is
right.
too
Yeah, when she
conservative."
said that, I thought that was funny.
I
Um,
like
That is
I swear
wild.
you gotta get
then
me
what
on
is-
that show. I'll fucking whip these fuckers into shape, you know?
Hey, chat.
I
So-
will
Lightning.
agree. I think Letterhack is the most conservative, and this
I
well
wanna
maybe
say
Jake
one
is the
thing.
most conservative. Jake actually believes that liberal democracy will exist in the next couple years. So that's pretty conservative, if you ask me.
Okay, Chaz Lightning in my chat is coming with the goods, with the facts. Okay, and he's
Here we go.
doctor. He's actually a real one, and he's got it. He's been writing to me, and he's teaching me all about what all of this means, AI and all the other shit. It's pretty frightening, actually. You know, I tell him sometimes, listen, dude, you got to calm down because I can't handle all this at once. But he really knows a lot
The
about it.
group that was behind that fucking Dinesh D'Souza movie, like 2000 Mules,
Yeah.
that group made the movie talking about all the cracks and exploits in the election, literally, so that they could fucking do the same
Do
thing.
it.
That's
And
the
now they're
blueprint.
And they
do-
put it
yeah.
right on. the
Oh, I'm
public
sorry,
domain
we
again.
can't talk about that because Trump said
That's what they
something
did.
sometime,
That's
and now
what-
as a result, we're
Andrea.
not allowed to talk about facts.
So
I'm
I
sorry.
was,
You're stressing me out.
I was
And
2
I
seconds.
it hurts my back.
I was 2 seconds from having Sam Cedar on the show tonight. I was right there.
Oh, really?
He said, he
Yes,
was like
the
on the
rapture.
fence, and then he goes, "Yeah, it looks like I'm not going to be able to do it." And I was like, oh, "Okay."
Oh,
But the way I was trying to hook him was, I was like, "Look, Bender, the Surfs, David Dolan, the Humanist Report are all doing their show, which is normally on Thursday, on our night. If you came on, we'd blow their numbers out of the water."
You're
And so
obsessed
he
with
was
the
like,
numbers. This
He said, it
motherfucker-
doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do it, but he was right there. I was like, oh my God, this is going to work.
That would have been amazing.
That would have
That
been
would be
so
We'll bear it
good.
in mind.
That would have been so good.
One of these
Alright,
days we'll
wait.
pump
I'm
those
just
numbers.
imagining him here now. Like, why am I here at 10:43 on a?
With
It
these
would have been
silly-
great if he
with
came
with
during
silly
Jake
people
shaving
that
his
are
face.
getting
That was
angry at
A lot of people
words
came
on a
during Jake
screen.
shaving his face. Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently, I'm possessed by the ghost of an HR problem assistant manager from the mid 2000s.
So I had someone in my chat say something, and they had it removed by Google moderators, and now I'm like, what the fuck
Just now?
was it?
Recently?
What is it?
Like,
Earlier,
Google
yeah.
moderators.
like this show?
Message deleted by the Google moderator team, and I was like, what the fuck did he
They're
say?
watching. They're watching.
What did
Can
he
we
say?
get Chaz's other comments popped up on the screen?
Okay, he's got it going on.
Like, I
him
don't want to
come on
sound
my
like
show.
Trump because I'm talking
I
about
want
elections,
him to
but-
come on my show to explain it to everybody. I asked him. if
Yeah,
he
I mean,
would.
I would love to hear all the things.
This
because,
was in
again,
that article.
It was
This
totally
was all
fucking-
in that
This
article.
election
Yeah,
was
but he's
absolutely
also
stolen.
been
I've been
before-
talking about it for
before the article.
forever.
Trump's
Before the
his bullet ballots were up 700% in swing states. That's just statistically not possible. My question remains:
Who's going to do anything
What-
about
Yeah,
it?
that's all that
What
matters.
the fuck happens
course.
now?
And
Well,
they will
it
talk
matters,
about it so
truth
we
matters.
can learn. Yes, truth does, but not in this day and age.
Does
It
it?
does to us. We learned about alternative facts from Kellyanne Conway.
It doesn't
And
matter
that
in
it was-
elections, that's
we
for
were
sure.
all, yeah.
I mean,
But I think it's
look,
important.
Yeah, he's right.
to
It
know
is
what the
in
truth
Planet.
is.
It is.
Yeah.
Everybody read Rachel Donnell's piece, Planet Critical.
not
I'll
gonna.
put it. I'm gonna put. You should. I'm gonna put it in the show notes. She's fantastic. I love her channel. I love her interviews.
I don't think you avoid the oligarchy. I think you defeat
No.
the oligarchy. I think they get into power. I don't think there's any way to avoid that coming into power. I think you have to defeat them after it
The
happens. Because, like,
fascist oligarchy.
Well, we
can
saw
you
what
see
happened in
billionaires
Russia.
sitting around going, "Wow, we didn't
Russia did a
pull it
great
off"? No, they'll
revolution,
pull
and
it
then
off.
it got corrupted by another oligarchy. So, like, that's the other problem. It's like, okay, we get rid of the oligarchy, and then boom, 30, 40 years later, they pop up again, and then another 30 years later, they take over the country. you
They
know?
defeated the Nazis, but then Stalin came into power, and he murdered couple few million people.
Yeah, to clarify from earlier, you're right. Truth does matter. It's just there's no point in getting passionate about it other than just
No,
state
we
it
don't want
simply.
to.
No, I get very passionate
until we have a plan to do something about it. I don't, frankly. I don't know what we do.
I don't know
aside
either.
from build local power. But that's a thing for surviving the next 4 years and not
Mhm.
about avenging yet another affected election. You could argue whether or not enough votes were changed or yada yada, but at the end of the day, we know what's
Wait a
going
minute,
on.
Gary.
The
there's
Republican
also
Party
another
cheats.
thing about the elections is there's a challenge ballot thing where like somebody can just like look people up and challenge their vote and say that vote's illegal, and then it's incumbent on you, the voter who has no idea that this happened, to like verify that your vote was legal. So like
Right.
essentially, in Georgia, for example, it's notoriously
Ballot
racist
hearing.
state, and it's got a lot of notoriously racist laws still on the books,
Mhm.
such as the ability to challenge ballots. So a lot of the, let's just say, Democrat-leaning counties and cities, like Fulton and stuff like that, they had hundreds of thousands of challenged ballots. Now, I'm asking you, if you voted and someone challenges your ballot, how the
Mhm.
fuck are you going to know that? Right? Is something going to, I don't know, get to you in the mail? But what if Trumpers control the flow of mail? Like, it's almost like they've been
Oh, guess
talking
what?
about it for years, that they're going to install their guys in the USPS. And Joe Biden never kicked out Louis DeJoy, the guy that
No.
Trump installed. So the Trump
I don't think he
Postmaster General
can.
was there the whole time because Biden was a zombie asleep at the wheel. But we're not allowed to talk about that because Trump said it once. So
I don't think they
not
can
wrong.
appoint or remove those guys. I think that's an internal thing. I don't think that's a presidential appointment.
well, the president has the power to basically force him out. But it's
Somebody
like, it's
could
one
have
of
done
those-
it.
Yeah, it's
Somebody
one of those
could
that
have
have to
fucking done
actually
it.
do it things. You know, it's like the parliamentarian.
Well,
Remember
it's
that
like,
fucking
Oh
shit?
my
and
God! Don't get me
did you
going on a
guys did you guys
parliamentarian.
watch John
Who is it
Stewart's
even?
piece last night? It was phenomenal. He ripped everybody a new asshole, and he was
I was
talking
doing.
about he's doing really well. But I want to say something to my chat about this. You know, to anybody calling Blue MAGA or whatever. I got it from Kyle Kalinske, and Kyle did a show, and he showed what Greg Palast is doing, and he showed what was on Mark Thompson's show. And Kyle says, "Listen, we listened to their shit for 4 years, and it was bullshit." Right? And if we find that we think
It was
something's
in
wrong,
courts. Yeah,
listen to it.
yeah.
Just,
None
I
of
mean,
none
why?
of the
But Kyle
claims.
says we should be just as obnoxious as they were, verbal, loud, and proud.
I
Well,
agree. I
I
agree.
mean,
That's the thing. Like,
That's
we
what
are
Kyle
correct, they are
process.
wrong. It's that fucking simple. We're allowed to be right, and we're allowed to be passionately correct. They can still line us up against the wall and shoot us dead when they become
Okay,
like the
but
guys in
nobody's
charge.
coming with the
you know?
lawyers or the. No one's doing that. Like Trump
Because
took all that
Democrats are
shit to court.
useless.
They
Yep.
didn't find anything, and now they're just like, "Hey, we lost. Guess what? We'll fundraise off of this and get rid." I mean, look, you can't tell me they're not walking away with some of the money they just raised from that campaign. Like
The
so many
$1
people
billion
just got fucking
money
rich.
laundering scam. Did you see that they spent like $100K on some podcast set with like a couch
Who?
and like a
The
flower pot?
Democrats?
Kamala Harris. Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
know.
spent
It was,
$100,000
and they had
I
on a
don't even want to
they,
podcast.
see the
they
itemizer receipt.
had to, what they had to do was, see, it's called in-kind contribution. So if Oprah Winfrey spent like $500,000 on something, they have to count that as called in kind. That's how nonprofits work. So it's all accounted for in the donation. So some of it isn't cash. It's what you do for the person. I mean, we used
Well,
to
I'll tell
have
you
that
what.
in research.
When
Okay.
I get something like this $10 super chat from Dave Marvin saying
How much more until the
remove
Mohawk,
this
bro?
comment ASAP, I'll tell you this, that's going right back into the show, pal. I'm not gonna like raise a bunch of money and then say, "Oh well, we failed," and walk away with the money. That's not what's gonna happen.
That's the other thing is like Kamala Harris is like a fucking prosecutor. She billed herself as like she's tough on crime, and then as soon as Donald Trump steals the election, she's like, it's a good job, sir. Well, best of luck. And then she goes and fucking like plays fucking Connect 4 with her nieces or whatever.
Where
in that
is
fucking
she
image.
anyway?
Like she's fucking gonzo. She flew out the fucking bag. Like she's got the fucking
Yeah, they all
suitcase,
have.
the briefcase with the money, and it's like so stuffed that the money's flying out of the bag as she's like fucking, biking away or whatever. I don't know, cartoon villain shit. Like what happened to the top cop? What happened to the big prosecutor, tough on crime? Whoa! And she's not even gonna fucking try because Democrats are losers. That's what they're here for.
Yeah.
It's
So we are
manufacturing consent theory, but for Democrats being losers. They're only here because they're losers. Like that's it.
We're looking at alternatives because we can all be independents, and then, but then in New York, if I'm an independent, I can't vote in any primary. I'd have
New York laws, man.
New York is stupid, right? We'd have to go to the Board of Elections and really try to push them to change that, because they didn't even you had to write in a candidate if you didn't vote for the two major ones. You had to write it in this year. So there's a lot of changes, but I suppose if every state, if you did work on it locally and you start that to make those changes, that's how it works.
I think we should take a page from the Federalist Society's playbook. The Federalist Society exists basically entirely to recruit law students that they know will lie during Senate confirmation hearings. And
you mean we, as in the Democrats, need to do that?
we, as in
well, fuck them,
beings.
yeah.
As in who?
So, staying on topic, we, as in
Lefties?
decent human beings. Federalist Society inspiration.
Yeah, that's my.
They lie during confirmation hearings. In other words, people who they knew would be about a certain set of principles and would do whatever was necessary, play whatever games had to be played to fulfill those principles. Now, it was dastardly with the Federalist Society because it's all about the law and it relies on honesty and yada yada. We're in a different game now. So what we should be doing, I think, and we here being a society of decent humans on Earth. All of us throughout the world who are in agreement that we should be active in fighting global warming and trying to be democracies, etc., etc. Join whatever party you have to join. Say whatever spin you need to say to sell your ideas, and rely upon the voting caucuses that will emerge. I think we need essentially a secret society of politicians. I think we need
A secret society like they've had. So let's get the progressive secret society going.
Yeah,
I
join
think we
the
should.
Republican Party and talk about like family values and all this fucking whatever.
Or
It doesn't matter. It
Infiltrate
doesn't
the
matter.
Republican Party. Well, or
Exactly correct.
Or build
And
up
make
the
them
Green
spend
Party.
money. Win the primary by talking about, as Andrea says, talk about family values, and then eventually, because we know they don't actually believe in anything. So when we put forward policy that's actually incredibly progressive, their voters aren't going to be up in arms like, oh, but that's not very traditional conservative. They have no fucking idea what any of this is.
Yeah, the voters don't give a fuck. They just give them a sweet bedtime story. Tell them whatever fucked up lie they need to hear. The immigrants are coming. They're going to sneak in your sleep unless you vote for me. Woo! Whatever you need to tell them. They fucking shut their brain off, and then you give them universal health care or whatever, and maybe that bumps up their IQ
and
by a
make
point
Republicans pay.
They're not even going to do that. Fear porn sells.
I think everyone is just sort of waiting to see how the military is going to be utilized in the next couple of months or a few months, and then
that's gonna be awesome.
and then it'll be like, what moves do we have to make? Because for now, threatening to use the military, I could my instinctual thought is, well, the military won't do it, and then I'm like, yeah, they will. This is ridiculous.
The military, the entire purpose of the military is to make you a drone so that you do whatever your guys tell you to.
Let me answer Jake's question. He's talking. Trump said that he wants to use the military for deportation.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
And they're talking about 11 to 20 million people being deported, but first put in internment camps.
Yeah. Texas
has offered up over 1,400 acres for those camps.
1,400. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting number.
Yeah. And they are I mean, that's releasing the military on stateside, like US soil, right? And so how do you protest? And people are talking, oh, people will protest that. Really? How?
If you live within 100 miles of the border, and the ocean counts as the border, by the way. So if you live in California, you're a border state. Technically, if you live in anywhere along the ocean, the Border Patrol has jurisdiction, and they're a federal agency. So anywhere, like, the North Carolina, South Carolina, if you live within 100 miles of the ocean, that's a border zone. And so they could theoretically do whatever the fuck they want to anybody they want. And it's a federal jurisdiction. So that's going to be step one.
Some might not even remember that during like protest, when the Proud Boys and shit would stand around with the cops were just like buddy with them. And they would go, these alt-right groups who were not cops or military at all would harass protesters, and the cops were like, they're on our side. They would just allow this to happen. That happened a lot. And so if the military is already on the ground in neighborhoods, like going door to door in every state, like across the country, imagine it could very easily, it's not like they're going to say, oh, we're just here for illegal immigrants. No, it's a military state. That's it. The military is on your fucking street.
That happened in 2020 in a lot of places. And, shout out to Tim Walz for being a fucking stupid fuckface in 2020 when he was sending the military to parade the fucking streets and lock people in their houses in 2020 because a black man got shot and people didn't like that. So again, like the military, like people like in 2020, they were fine with that. Maybe people went out and protested, but that was it. They didn't do anything other than protest, because guess what? I'm sorry, but protesting is a failed fucking strategy.
So you can
it's a compromise. It doesn't do anything.
It's not a consequence in and of itself. And that's the problem.
If the military, it's not like they go to your neighborhood for a day. they fucking set up there. And if you look at military installations around the world, they have an action and they stay there fucking forever. The US is always going to be wherever they fought. They fucking stay there.
When
to
I
a
was
degree.
protesting in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, they had like a military encampment set up at like a fucking school, you know, and they just bust in like cops and like National Guard and state troopers and stuff from all around the state. And they were just like hanging out there. It was like a campsite, just like literally, like, keep in mind, it was like a town of like 16,000 people. So there's like -7 people live there basically.
Okay.
And there were hundreds of motherfuckers in a military encampment. Basically, the whole city was in quarantine. I was documenting the whole thing. If you go back and look at
they're
it.
What
calling.
did I tell you guys 2 weeks ago? I said, start studying Russia and to see how Russians live. Start looking at different authoritarian countries
We can
and
just watch
see
it unfold
how-
here in the next couple of months.
Yeah, but at least know what we're up against,
Yeah.
how people live in other countries that are under repressive regimes.
I think we're
you
going to
know?
be dwindled down to, I hate to use the word rebellion, but we're going to be dwindled down to a very small group of people who are willing to do something drastic. And I don't
And
like
lose their
that.
lives.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's not
like
gonna
the
work.
victory or death option. I do not like that.
Well, if history repeats itself, and I have been reading and watching so much World War II shit to see, what is repeating itself and how this can happen. It can, because we have a man that really wants that worship of the military. He wants the military to salute him. And it can happen because he's got all those stooges. So we need to learn how to acclimate, and we need to learn how to do the best we can. They'll go after the big things first. They are going after they're going to get the FCC. They're going after the journalists first before they get down to trickle down to where they're at my door. I'm an old lady. What are they going to do? Take me away?
Yeah.
To
Probably.
where?
They were putting like, what was the youngest infant or baby they put in court? Remember they were
I'm
putting
not
little
gonna
kids
get
in
that
court?
paranoid. I'm not going to get that paranoid.
No, but
If
do
I
you
do, I'll
remember
get
this was
offline
Hold
100%.
on a second. This was like not long ago. This was during the Trump administration. They were separating kids from their families and they were putting these kids in front of a fucking judge in a courtroom. And the little kid's like, I can't read or write. So they're
what are
definitely not discriminating about who
Yeah.
they're going to go after. It's just, how's it going to play out?
There's also
Like, how
pre-trial
scary is it gonna
detention. It
be?
doesn't matter if you're a U.S. citizen or
I
not. You
think
can get
that's what it
held in
maybe was.
pre-trial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
pre-trial detention for any U.S.
Okay.
citizen can last
We
years.
are Emerald View. We are.
And so right now,
But
they
you-
don't have enough lawyers to immigration lawyers
Right.
to
I will
put
be right
people
back.
through the process. So instead of amending the process because they don't have enough, or I think it's judges, they don't have enough immigration judges to put
That's it.
people through the process. So
Right.
instead of amending the process and figuring out a way to
Getting new
expedite it,
judges.
they just sit on them and they go, oh, well, sorry. So, I mean, look at Guantanamo Bay. Like,
on.
that's like the
This-
least American thing you could fucking do. And that's not going
Feels
anywhere.
like sorrow porn.
No,
I-
I'm just saying, like, in terms of like to Sandy's point, they're not coming after me. I think it's a matter of wait and see. That's my point. And there's lots of examples of why I would assume the worst, but
do what you have to do. To
I have
survive
been
and keep the
assuming some
fight.
of the worst,
Hold up,
but I
sister.
can't even imagine.
Do what you
Alright.
have to do to survive and keep the fight going.
yeah,
That's
that's why I say
That's the
don't-
only conclusion here.
Pro
Is
vegetable
it going to get
stampede.
bad? Yes. We don't know specifically how. It's probably useful, Sandy, to a degree to picture how it's going to be. But also, let's not wallow in it. It's going to
I
I'm
don't
not
think-
wallowing in it. I want to
don't-
be proactive and understand what's going to happen to my
which is why I'm
channel.
giving you the
if-
head nod.
if they go after Google and YouTube and take us all off. See, I think the free speech warriors are going to be free speech warriors for what they choose is the free speech they choose, like books and everything else.
My point is, though, to stay on topic, is the only thing to do is to survive and keep the fight going.
Did you see
Okay.
the comment I put up on screen,
I'm
Jake?
too old to
I think
fight.
you were away. It said,
I-
"Don't go down fighting, go down organizing."
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Like
Yeah, like-
there's a
Leatherback
lot of
talks when
action
someone
to
else is
do.
talking. He just types in the chat and
Underground,
posts it
baby.
on-
That's yeah,
And
that
you're
is
the
what I
one
do,
that
Andrew.
writes books, and
I'm
you're the one that
spending half of every
communicates.
show telling people how they can take action. So it's not. It
right.
might feel like sorrow porn, but this is my one night to
I
go
don't think
off like that. So
I don't think it's
I'm spending
sorrow
a lot of
porn.
time telling people what they can do and how they can do it and when. And I mean, it's
No, the
these
sorrow
little
porn thing
things that
was when we're talking about one thing that's dastardly and bad, and then we use it as a jumping off point for another and another and another. And I get it. I do get it. It's probably good to a degree to allow ourselves to experience this. I'm just saying, let's not allow ourselves to drown in it either.
Jake is now the
No,
guy
but
saying, "How come the show doesn't draw any conclusions?"
Can I bring something up?
Activists
No, that's the
are
comment I
going
get
to
like
be
every
under
week.
fire. Activists are going to be under fire. Activists.
Oh.
Can I also say, like, can
Oh, what
we
happened with them?
pretend? Can we like go back to reality and stop pretending that COVID magically disappeared? And especially bird flu is coming in. You know,
I
you have
know,
all
I
this,
know, you
all
brought
these
that up.
various guys entering the Trump administration that are going to dismantle the
I
CDC
know.
entirely. The
I
CDC
know.
is garbage, and the only reason people pretend COVID went away so that they could host their left-wing super spreader
Andrew
event
is ignoring
is
your
because Joe
plea, Jake.
Biden wanted to win the election. So Joe Biden wanting to win the election, part of their election strategy was to pretend that they solved the crisis of COVID to convince everyone it disappeared, right? Didn't work. They lost the fucking election. So can we stop pretending COVID disappeared? Because if we're really going to be repressed in the way that I personally believe we will be, we can't be repressed and be sick all the time. We can't be repressed and be going, oh man, I can't even climb up my stairs. Like, how are we going to rebel against the fascist government when we all got long COVID, everyone's sick and tired, right? Like, let's
Some
be
of us
honest
are just
here.
out of shape, but point taken.
Well, we also need to get in shape. That's another big thing. And
Fair.
again, personal responsibility. This is something left wingers hate to think about. Oh my God, personal responsibility. How dare you? I just want to vote and have the government save me. I hate personal responsibility. But no, we need to be personal responsible. By the way, I'm going to take a sip of my sugar-filled soda real quick.
with aluminum.
But aluminium, you'll find. But
It'll
anyway,
last forever.
again, we need to look out for each other's health, safety,
Yeah, I agree
physical
with that.
health, mental
Mhm.
health. And again, let's just be real. Biden lost the election. We can't pretend COVID magically went away anymore. Let's be honest. I know it was a fun fantasy for a lot of people to just walk around and pretend like there's not a pandemic going on for 6 fucking years straight. But bird flu is right around the corner. It's in every farm in the United States. There's multiple human-to-human transmissions that have been identified by major, disease control places in different countries. And Trump just got elected, quote unquote, to the White House. And they're going to dismantle any and all tracking for bird flu whatsoever. So I'm just saying, I don't know, maybe we can get back down to reality. I'm just maybe consider it. Also, with global warming, climate change, everything's going to get fucked up.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we
know.
can't afford to be sick all the time when we need
You
to
think
immigrate
people
because
are
we
gonna
can't.
get
And-
back to reality at this point? Like after all that, you think now is when everyone's gonna go, you know what? We need to be
I
more
hope.
realistic about COVID.
I
That's
hope.
the last fucking. You can get arrested for wearing a mask
Well,
unless you're a
there's
Nazi.
she's
Well,
talking
protest.
about what the left ought to do, and I think
Yeah,
you got a
lefties
really
specifically.
good point there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
here's the deal.
people.
We have to do everything in our power to make our numbers be bigger than their numbers. And you bring up a fantastic point. Get healthy. Make it part of lefty culture to exercise a little bit every day. Just stuff like that, so that on the margins we are growing and growing and growing, or at least not shrinking as much as they are.
Totally
One
agree with
huge
that. I didn't
advantage
pick that
we
up.
have, RFK Jr. as a person who will be taken seriously by right wingers. Yeah, okay, he's going to tell a lot of them not to get vaccinated.
No, that
And
he's going
then-
to cut funding for
then a
things, Jake. That's going to
ton
be a
of
big
people.
thing.
I know that's going to happen, but that's going to happen for all of us. Culturally, what I'm talking about is the fact that a lot of right wingers, for various reasons, won't take COVID seriously. Okay, they're going to lose a
that's
couple
happening now.
100,000 every year.
But that's happening now. This is administrative. This is going for funding. This is going to he wants to direct what medical personnel should do. He wants to
You
he's
missed
already
what I was talking about. though,
I
the
know
point.
you're talking about what they're going to tell their people, but that's the
No,
same shit they
I'm
know
talking
now.
about what advantages we're going to have to carve out of this situation, and being healthier than the right, just culturally, making ours a culture that actually does
We are.
appreciate health.
We don't eat
Is
McDonald's.
is going to be a good idea. Nah, we don't, there's not a big lefty workout
You're right.
channel, you know.
I've been trying to
Thanks.
do this shit for years, and everyone makes fun of me whenever I bring it up on other shows.
You're right, Jake. You
No, I think
actually
you're
made a very good point.
And I'll take credit for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
I'm
see
taking
that?
full credit.
Did you see
Ah!
that Don Jr. video where he was rubbing coke on his gums?
No,
Really?
he was scraping the McDonald's out of his teeth, dude. What are
He
you talking
reached in his
about?
pocket. He reached in his pocket.
No,
Did
he
this
and
did
no.
like one of
What you don't
these.
understand is he was picking his nose and he wiped his booger off in his pocket so that he could then scrape the McDonald's out of his teeth, dude. No, let's not spread
Jesus.
rumors, false allegations about.
I'm wondering if this was today because I thought. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Dave Martin. Was this the one today?
I'm trying not to watch any of it anymore.
Well, I want to know if they're gonna try and
Yeah.
pass that bill about the nonprofit.
Oh, that's a big one. I called my congressman. I did call.
I
and
know, I did
talked
too.
about that. I called my congressman, and I also wrote
Dugan.
to. There's something else you have to write to, because you see, I worked in research for my career, and it's going to be a terrible effect if all of this money's cut off to universities, and there's going to be mass unemployment in the science community, and we are going to have a real cacistocracy on our hands, and we will not be doing the important research in the
And the
United
money is also
States.
going to be sent to like the guys doing the 1% of scientists who say smoking is good for you, actually, right? Like it's
The
not even just
Heartland
that it's
Institute.
it's not just that it's
Yeah.
going to get cut from the good guys. It's going to be redirected to these crank
Right.
losers who are saying
the her-
actually the
the-
globe
the-
is freezing all of
The
a sudden.
Heritage Foundation, the people that think that the world is 6,000 years old. Yeah, we're in a bad way.
Well,
I
there
mean,
were.
Oh, yeah.
but we all have to pick our little area. I'll talk about, what's happening with the EPA being restructured or something, but I am certainly,
The
I am
EPA
not,
is
I'm
gone.
not talking about the Orange Man. I'm not
There were
gonna say his
Yeah.
name, and I'm not watching his videos.
There were 50 some Democrats that voted for
I know.
HR 9495,
They're
and they were
crazy.
all APAC.
And
Of
what
course
bill
they
is
are,
that
because
exactly?
they think that that's going to help with the problem, and they're 100%
No, they were.
one issue idiots.
Nope, they were just paid to do that. They
They were
don't
paid.
have
What
any
is the bill?
ideology. I think they
You
were
think
just
they
paid
don't
to
have
do it.
any ideology?
Which
No.
bill?
No, they were paid to do
Wow.
it. They took money from APAC. That's why they're there. They're not Democrats. They're not Republicans. They're APAC funded. Period.
So, like
That's
the
the
right
only
wing
way to
takes
look at
money-
it.
They take money from CPAC and do the same thing with
APAC is
horrible things.
Republican donors. They're MAGA,
Oh, boy.
mega.
like
donors.
Miriam Adelson, who gave Trump what, 100 million? I mean,
Yeah,
ridiculous. Yeah.
this is in all the Jamal Bowman and Cory Bush when they were defeated. It was
Right.
because APAC funded their opponent, and I asked,
Right.
I was always asking, like, why are they taking the money? Shouldn't they turn that down? And well, no, they're pro-Israel and they're anti-Hamas. No,
I know. I
they're
was
just-
watching.
pro-Israel.
I
they're
was
just paid
watching
to
the
be
Senate
in government.
today. The Senate was voting on Bernie Sanders' measure, and I watched it. I watched that, and I watched all these idiots try to defend, our friendliest neighbor over there and Israel, and we've been this and that, but none of them mentioned all of the slaughtering children and the killing and all that.
See that new video
they're
that's
just
out?
horrible.
Where
I don't think
somebody's
it'll pass.
driving through Gaza and they're just showing rubble, and they go, "Is this how you defeat terrorism? This is
Ugh.
insane." They have laid waste.
Boy, do we
Can
have
I
a lot of
bring
problems
something
in
up
front
as
of
far
us.
as elected officials and pro-Israel? Is we have our
Yeah.
first transgender
Yeah.
representative
Get
elect,
this. Get this.
and
They're trying to
my
screw
goodness, I'm allowed to say it because I'm the token here. But what a total stinkfest, loser, bitch, fucking goddamn pick me, son of a fucking goddamn bitch, disappointment, loser, fucking loser, pick me, why? Oh, we're gonna work
Nancy
with
Mace?
Republicans to ban me from the bathroom so that we can support Israel. Fucking loser. I don't even
Really?
care
I
about
don't
her
know
name.
anything
I don't give
about
a
her.
fuck about her name. The first quote unquote elected trans representative is a pro-Israel garbage can man, woman, whatever. I'm allowed to
Wow.
say it. I'm sorry.
So-
But
I didn't know anything about her other
talk
than
about it.
Nancy Mace
yeah,
making a big thing to divert our attention.
and she's
to the
agreeing with Nancy
bathroom.
Mace. That's the thing. She's like, "Oh, Nancy Mace is talking about how I'm not going to be allowed in the woman's bathroom. Great, let's go to the man's bathroom then. Let's talk about real issues."
Did
What
she say
a
that?
loser! Yeah, that's
Wow,
what
I
she
don't
said.
know.
Yeah,
She literally
what-
said, "Let's talk about real issues." He said, "I'm fine going into the man's bathroom. Let's talk about real issues." Are you
wait,
fucking
is
kidding
she
me?
trying to diffuse the
Hold on, let's
attention
give
off
some
that and not
details.
maybe she's
It's-
diffusing it and she's saying to
Nope.
them it doesn't matter. I don't
I'll
know.
tell you exactly what happened.
All right.
There's no need to speculate. Sarah McBride is a trans elected official who, Nancy Mays was up there saying, I have been sexually assaulted. I'm not going to share a bathroom with a man. Despite the fact that Matt Gaetz
She
has
doesn't-
been accused of this credibly, and
Right.
Donald Trump has been convicted of rape. And do you feel safe around these guys? Holy
Nancy's
shit, they're
not-
running the
If she's a
country.
conservative and she's married, she uses the bathroom with a fucking goddamn sexual assaulter.
So
Sarah-
McBride
No,
McBride
McBride is a
That was
woman.
good.
immediately caved to Mike Johnson and said, it's okay, I'll use the men's room.
She
She literally is referring to herself as like someone who deserves to use the man's room. She's a fucking loser. I don't care if she's diffusing
Wow.
or whatever. She's
Okay,
a loser.
I'm
She's a
trying to-
loser.
Yeah, I
But
guess
she is also a Zionist.
she
For
won't
that,
fight.
my friend, you get the Queen of Hearts
Wow.
card. Well done.
Who gets it? Me or Sandy?
Andrea.
So what's good going on out there, guys?
I'll tell you something good. You just got Queen
Okay.
of Diamonds.
Ooh, Queen of
There
Diamonds.
is-
Transition.
I think that's better than mine. What the fuck?
I
That's
got
all-
good things happening here.
I saw another video. This is incredible. It was like Donald Trump Jr. putting Coke on his gums, and then immediately, in what do they call it? In theory, what is it?
Hypothetically.
No, but he
Theoretically,
He
may
rubbed it
have
on
he
and-
may have been whatever it is.
engaging in coke habits.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you. Thanks,
We get
counselor.
our live listeners.
So then I'm on TikTok, and this is how crazy TikTok is. The very next fucking video is a cow playing a piano,
Oh, that's great.
like an actual musician.
Oh, King of Clubs revoked.
Nope, I'm bringing it back. The king of clubs will live on.
Fine. I got vetoed.
Sandy doesn't
A
get it.
reluctant
Sandy's
King of
like,
Clubs.
what
I
is
was
the
looking
joke?
at the chat. Oh, I just went spaced out. I spaced out. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, look, we're getting lit up here. Let me read some of these.
My good news was, but I'm almost finished fixing my wood stove myself.
Yeah.
Yay.
Nice.
Although it's an expensive learning experience on crumbling combustor bricks, and those are the bricks that mix the gases so that the particulate matter that goes out your chimney is a lot less.
Okay.
And it's very cool.
I've got like several of these. So Nadia Yvette Chambers, thank
This
you
is
for
for
the
the Mohawk
$10. Stephen Miller's plan
That
is
was nice.
invading blue stronghold sanctuary cities with red state national guards. Inside Info says mission creep for enforcing anti-abortion, anti-LGBT laws is a later stage of the plan.
Ooh, she knows.
Oh, we saw that
failed?
one. Yes.
It failed.
This is the first time the
Oh.
Republicans brought it back exactly 2 days later. It was supposed to be back in there for a vote today. I don't think it was, but
Because I called
but yeah, failing is good, and then it's like, does it even get past the Senate?
well,
We
what
don't know.
about the other one?
Born citizen. I don't know yet. Born citizens. Can somebody read this, please? I'm gonna.
Foreign
cough.
citizens can have citizenship stripped and be deported to internment camps without counterparty countries to accept them, like Jews in World War II Germany. So, what they're born citizens or naturalized citizens?
Well, Trump is going for. Well, he already said he wants to terminate the
I mean-
Constitution, so he's going for the birthright citizenship thing.
Like his son.
Well, yeah. Well, he wants it to be basically that, if you got citizenship through birthright, like both your parents are immigrants, but they brought you here and then you were born here, he's going to try to make that revoked somehow.
But what if they are legally immigrated? Let's say they immigrated here from Canada, like my friends in California.
Well, if
who
they're from
after
Canada, they're probably
40
white. so-
years, after 40 years, got their citizenship and they gave up their Canadian citizenship. I said, are you fucking nuts? Why would you do that? I'm red.
That's trading downwards.
Why would you do that?
Here's another one from Nadia Vet Chambers.
Mhm.
$5. Thank you.
Beyond heat and starvation, without commissary sponsors, prisons and internment camps spread respiratory and MRSA infections, for example, COVID, like wildfire, HIV too. Yeah.
Yeah.
To the collection of comments I've seen you put up so far, Nadia, I would say that the answer for this is havens.
Get the hell out.
Yeah, if you can, and if you can't, but you have other means available to you, we should be prepared to set up non-government institutions. I'm talking bars, I'm talking whatever business you have, or just your home, that can hide people. And I know it sounds dramatic. It is dramatic.
Until they come
These are
knocking at
dramatic
your
times.
door. Yeah.
Yeah, you might.
That's why you hide them.
Can we bring up
Yeah.
a comment by Nico?
Hold on,
And
one more.
lie.
Who's
Say they're not
Nico?
there.
Okay.
Just
Mace
so we're not
responded.
too far off.
Yeah, Nadia Yvette Chambers with very kind $5. Mace responded to McBride's response by getting a federal bathroom ban bill through the House covering all federal government facilities
Oh, Jesus.
and a few more cases.
So if you
Yeah,
go to
we're-
a national park, you're not allowed to use the fucking bathroom with
Unbelievable.
all -6 people at the entire national park.
How does anybody know somebody's trans?
You have to do
that
mandatory
is a great
genital check.
question.
I mean,
That's the only way to enforce it. So like they don't necessarily want to enforce it, so they're just trying to scare the shit out of people and have them kill themselves or like
that's
leave the country.
ridiculous.
But the way to enforce it would be mandatory genital checks, which middle schools have been doing in red states. They've been doing mandatory genital checks for anyone who wants to.
Wait, that's for real?
That's correct. That's been happening in states like Oklahoma and Alabama.
Oh, where they want to
It's like when
the Trump Bible in the schools. They're
I
going to buy
drew-
only the Trump Bibles. He's going to make $2 million off that Bible.
King Trump Bible.
Yep.
Doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me to
Oklahoma.
hear Republicans can't wait to look at little kids' genitals. I think
Yeah.
that's basically the end game for them. That's what this is all for.
Well, yeah, that's why we have pedophiles.
we
Republicans
running
talk
the White
about
House.
it a lot.
Yeah,
There was one time I drew a picture, like a group picture, like I don't know, 30 or 40 different lefty news commentators, and somebody said it was homophobic because I left this one person out, and I was like, I didn't know they were gay. How would I know that? And the commenter was like, yeah, good point. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to
Thanks
be
for outing me.
asking? Am I supposed to be like, hey, I found this commentator. Anyone know if they're straight or not? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're
What's
supposed to just know that.
I mean,
funny.
you're homophobic just because you're uncomfortable around homosexuals, but it has nothing to do with the art of it all.
Yeah, no, I am legitimately homophobic. I have all the reasons. So
Can we bring up a comment from Nico, who says,
you wanted to.
"I'm an
Yep, right
immigrant
here.
myself, and I
What's
assure
that
you,
on?
immigration has gone to shit since Biden took office." Now, does anyone remember when Biden took office? There was this thing that started called the COVID-19 pandemic. And by the way,
Mm.
like what the fuck? As if it like Biden January 21st, 2021, and then all of a sudden the immigrants are like, yes, time to go. Like, no, it was a steady buildup over time. First of all, problem, it's not a problem. Okay, like just to be clear, like, okay, people want to immigrate to another country. What's the big deal? Like the idea that somehow Biden uniquely no, he continued Trump's border policy. Biden was extremely right wing on the border. Kamala Harris was campaigning extremely right wing on the border. They actually went further to the right than Donald Trump in a policy sense, because Donald Trump came in, obviously it was just because of his own ego, but he came in and destroyed that right wing border wall. The Democrats were running to the right on the border, right? So this idea that Biden took office and somehow the immigration problem was out of control had nothing to do with the pandemic happening, by the way, nothing to do with that global economic crash, nothing whatsoever. It's Biden taking office. And then Nico says, my God, you liberals just believe the worst lies ever told. I am not a liberal. You cock-sucking little fuck-faced motherfucker.
Wait a minute.
How dare you call us liberals? Maybe
Let
Jake
me
is
take
liberal,
over.
but I am
Nico,
not a
it's
liberal
on
by
your
any
channel,
stretch.
Jake. Not
Good.
on mine, thank God.
Good. Then I called dibs. Nico, in answer to your earlier question about how is it fair for blah, 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 tourist comes here, has a kid, the kid is an American citizen. Nobody else answer. I'm just going to ask you rhetorically, how is it unfair? It's not. That's the basis by which we determine that honkies are natural Americans because we're born here. That's that. Moving on to whatever Kelsey was saying.
What the?
Yeah. We're moving on because
I don't feel like it's unfair to me at all.
We're moving on. It doesn't deserve any more thought than that. It's simply because you're uncomfortable with foreigners. Nico, the other thing, the fact that you called us liberals tells me how little you know about the people you hate. Because we're leftists.
We're not liberals.
We do not
I
like
hate liberals more than right wingers, man. Like liberals
Truly.
are the bane
I would
of
have
my
banned him for that.
motherfucking
Yeah.
existence.
Absolutely. So what I would ask you to consider for the remainder of the evening is, where did you get your information about us? Because if you got that wrong, if you misjudged that so mightily, which you have, what else do you believe about us that is just not true?
Jake
what else
is
do you believe
so
about your side that is just not
just
true?
the way that Jake is trying to lay this out, like as if there's the magical concoction of words that's going to get to this guy and go like, oh, wait a second.
Or maybe it'll get to the other person who's listening that feels the same way, that has in common.
Why? Okay, Nico says,
hey, it works.
You guys are leftists even worse. What's worse about being a leftist? Explain to me what's worse about believing everyone should be happy, healthy, and have
Sorry, I want healthcare for you, dude.
Yeah, Medicare for all.
Explain to me how that's worse. I'm just curious.
What's better wages. My bad.
I don't even want wages. I don't even like the concept of money. Get rid of money altogether. Why do we need to have money? Why do we need to have more stuff than one another? We should all be able to have anything we want because we have literally created robots. We have AI coming up. Literally, we could create a total utopia like in a science fiction movie.
Okay, hold on. Not serious person doesn't understand the argument.
No, that's a legitimate.
But you can't. I mean, that's just it's.
No.
Things have been debunked.
Let me address
higher taxes, but no copay.
Hold on.
You're not paying for private insurance.
Jake, you can have the floor. I swear.
Sure.
I'll mute everyone, but you cannot just sit in the chat and rail on every single topic with the incorrect take. You can't. You just can't.
And this motherfucker says we're the ones who
believe
believe lies.
Single talking point.
Universal healthcare is
disproven,
cheaper.
debunked,
it's
and ridiculous.
Cheaper, you dumb motherfuckers, because you pay less money to less
they're
people.
Just trolling.
Instead of
they're
fucking. I know they're trolling, but I need to yell at somebody, and I'll let Jake have this in a moment here.
Sure.
After I say my piece, there's less people in the pie. Okay, there's less bureaucrats in the fucking private insurance that are stealing your fucking money and paying themselves a salary for doing nothing. There's less people at the executive level who are paying themselves a salary for doing fucking nothing. You're literally just paying for the actual cost of the item when you do it paid for by the government. I have a lot of problems with the government. I hate the government, but the idea that you trust a private insurance company more than the government, and you think that it costs less money to pay the private insurance company proves to me you're fucking stupid. You're
Oh, boy.
dumb. You got
Well,
dumpster
you had
sludge
it
in your
till the
skull.
end.
It's
Not
leaking out of your eye
educated.
Jake,
sockets.
in this
sludge
case,
from
she's
inside
correct.
of a dumpster.
Yes.
People can be misinformed about taxes and healthcare, and they can, and there's explanations we can offer. This is not that,
That's-
and I don't think we should let one person troll their way into taking over the floor
Right.
here. But Jake,
I
you
would
did want to
agree. So let's
respond.
make this the last one we address. I disagree, though, that the statement they put there is so
Jake likes to do.
ludicrous. It's not. That if you
Okay.
don't have deep understanding, if you've only listened to specifically, if you're only listening to right wingers, what Nico said would seem intuitive. Oh, it's going to raise our taxes, and that's supposed to be synonymous with, oh, it's going to be more expensive. Because it is taxes, it is less expensive. We get to pick and choose who we are taking the greater cost from. In this case, with every proposal for healthcare for all, it is from the rich. You know, the people that can afford to go to space right now. That's who's getting their taxes raised. Now, to what Andrea said, that's the logic you got to sit through and digest for a moment. Just consider this. In private industry, you have many different companies trying to provide a service. That also means you have somebody at the top of all these companies. That means you're creating one rich person for every company that exists. You're not just paying for what is necessary to get the service. You're paying for all the employees that make it a private industry. You have to pay them enough to get their kids through college, to heat their homes, to do all that stuff. It's just inefficient, in other words. Now, the way you decide should something be a private industry or should it be public, as in the government runs it, is if it is something that everybody needs. We do that with the military. We do that with firefighters. We do that with roads. Because these are
Right.
things everybody needs. What's something
Perfect.
else everybody needs?
Love it.
Well, every other country in the world, except for the United States, that has the money to do it, has said healthcare is something everybody needs.
Perfect. Well
It's just
said.
cheap.
Yay.
Including Israel, who buys our
Absolutely
politicians and does
perfect.
not advocate
And
for universal
also,
health care here.
One
Only
thing
there.
is the word tax, because what you're paying now is a private tax.
Mhm.
Like,
That
I don't
is
give a
great
fuck about
phrase for
where
it.
my money goes
It
to.
is a
I give a
tax,
fuck how
yeah.
much money I'm spending per month. I don't give a shit if it's going to the fucking government or if it's going to a private
put,
company.
Andrew.
It's a tax either way. And you know what? I would rather pay a public tax that I benefit from than a private tax which I do not benefit from. In the
And a
same way,
public
I would
tax which
rather
you
buy a
can
house
control.
and have a mortgage rather than rent, because when you're renting, you're just burning the money to the gone zone. When you're buying something and you have a mortgage, you're gaining equity, right? So they want to keep you in the poor trap. They want to keep you below
True.
a certain threshold of money where you can't ever climb out of the poor trap. And one way they do that is with private taxes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there's
So well put.
like, you know, there are so many positive aspects to universal healthcare that when the mainstream media brings it up, they go straight to the taxes. So you can see how people would be uninformed, not even misinformed, but just uninformed because they
Manipulated.
never talk about it in a way that makes
Mhm.
sense. They never talk about
Exactly.
it in a way that would make you go, "Oh shit, we should all have that." How
Can
come
I
we don't
also-
already have that?
Well, because we are an oligarchy. I mean,
Here's the thing.
everything is corporate ruled.
But they don't talk about it in terms of people at a minimum having access to
Right.
quality health care. They say, "Oh, you have health insurance through your job." Okay, well, that's different at
Not
every job. You don't
everybody,
know what
yeah.
they have or whether it's good or not. And so we just, if you just at a minimum talk about it as access to quality health care and then say affordable quality health care, that's when they go, "Why are you trying to raise my taxes?" And that's just
Can I also say one thing on terms
Misdirection.
of respect? Because Nico came into the chat and disrespected us by calling us liberals and we
Yeah, I
believe
was biting
lies
my
and we're
tongue.
lying. And then I yell at you and somehow I'm not being respectful. You treat us with lack of respect. I treated
Yeah.
you with lack
can't
of respect.
see
Jake
him.
is playing a character. He doesn't respect you. He's pretending to respect you. Sorry to Jake. Now, Also, Nico says, I don't want to pay for someone else's health issues. Why
He
can't I say
is
that? You
with
can say
Pfizer.
that, but guess
Oh,
what?
it's
Regardless
so
of
bad,
how
yeah.
you spend money on health, you are going to pay for other people's health issues
Yes.
in the sense of food prices, right? Other people are sick. That affects the whole economy, right? People are less likely to be able to, I don't know, let's say, work in places where they can generate organic, high quality foods. People are less likely to be able to afford those high quality organic foods. So therefore, things are going to get lower quality. Look at car accidents, for example. If someone is less healthy, they're more likely to get into a car crash with you. Okay. And guess what? You're going to end up paying for other people no matter what, unless you live off the grid on an island somewhere that no one knows about. It's not on any map. No one will ever find you. You have no supplies, like you're playing Minecraft from a new save file. You are going to have to end up paying in one way or another via time, energy, resources, money for other people's garbage. The idea that somehow healthcare is the only situation where this ever applies is ludicrous. We live in a society. I know it's a joke, but we do. I personally agree. I
Yeah.
don't want to pay for other people's health issues, so I don't want them to have those health issues in the first place.
And
As a
that's
result,
not
I
even
support universal health care.
that's not even literally how it ends up being, because when, like, let's say you turn a certain age, I don't know, 18, 21, whatever it is, you're automatically signed up for universal health care. If we have all these young people who are so healthy, they're not using it, it makes it affordable for like the elderly, for example, who do need it. You know what I mean? Because like when I had a full-time corporate job, the insurance representative would come in every year and go, sorry guys, your coworkers used your insurance. Now all the rates are going up. Now you're going to have to pay more for it. And it's like, oh, I wish we didn't use it. Well, what's it there for? You know what I mean?
was-
So
Scenario.
I
your way
was
real quick.
over the benefits function in my career.
HR.
And yes, and every year was
come I can't
negotiation.
point?
Every year was the prices went up. Every year it doesn't. So you're paying through your job, but your premium is still. It's a group plan. Group. That's the word, Nico. Group. You're in a group plan. That's what it all is.
It's not
there's
like
no-
welfare
yeah.
or something.
Let me throw a scenario at you. Imagine healthcare costs for the total nation. So altogether, what people are paying for healthcare. Now go down to just one person in the nation. Imagine that person under the capitalist version of healthcare that we have, the antiquated version that every other country that has abandoned in favor of the better version, the public version. They get slashed on the arm, big old deep gash, and they say, I'm not going to go to the emergency room for this because I want to save a couple of $100. Now, they could have got stitches under the public version. They could have got that wound treated. Instead, what they do is they sit at home and then it starts to smell their wound. They eventually have to go in and get the stitches anyway, and then they have to get the wound cleared out. They got to get antibiotics. They wind up staying in the hospital for a day because they get delirious. This is what happens when you don't treat.
And they
things
drive
like
a car and they might get in a car
this. Sure.
crash.
All these things happen, but focusing it down to that, it's more expensive. It's a more expensive thing than if they would have just gone in initially to get it treated, but they were trying to save money. Now zoom that back out for the whole nation, and you see how these instances accumulate and balloon the cost of U.S. healthcare. They skyrockets it. It makes it an inefficient system. And again, some might advocate that we should get rid of capitalism in all aspects of life. But we don't even have to talk about that stuff to agree that for healthcare, making profit should not be the goal, simply because it is a thing that we all need. That's it.
Singing Ray has a beautiful comment, and I want to say it. My parents and grandparents' generation related to taxes as an extension of their sense of hospitality and interdependence with society. They said someone else paid while I had kids in school. Now I do. See, that's the thing. It's not what can my country do for me. It's what can I do? What can I do for my country? Not is it me? Everything is me instead of us. Just like Bernie said, not me, us. And that's the problem in our country. It's a selfish, self-centered, narcissistic, sick society.
What makes me crazy is that even as I got it. All right, I'll just put this in real
Notice
quick.
that
Even
Nico
if-
is running away with no argument. Oh shit, they
No,
come
no,
to
no,
me
no,
with
no,
facts
no.
and logic. Goodbye.
Maybe
Bye,
they're
Andrea,
just
Nico.
be adult.
digesting
Be
this.
adult,
Let's,
Andrea.
Bye, Nico.
let's let them digest it for a minute.
Toast
And
to
what I
Nico.
was gonna say is irrelevant. Nadia Yvette Chambers, surveilling targeted people for WC,
Water
school
closet,
nearness,
bathroom,
water closet,
restroom.
school nearness, etc. Ban violations is the plan, not area patrols. ID record checks, government buildings, alert cops,
Oh,
transness,
Jesus.
prompt scouring, CC
Close.
footage.
Yeah.
With
I
AI.
see what you're
hate
talking
AI.
about. It's sad. I mean, what's the percent of the population that's trans? This is pathetic.
0.6%.
I mean, this is really pathetic. We have
But,
so many huge issues. Our friggin' climate breakdown is happening in real life. Okay. I mean, there's fires in Brooklyn. There's wildfires in fucking New York City.
You know what's
I mean,
crazy about the wildfires too is they're gonna get so bad, and yet
everywhere.
no one wants
But
to
you
wear a
can't use-
mask during a wildfire. And several places in New York, which by the way get fucked by wildfires from Canada all the time, have mask bans. So you're supposed to. They
Only
want
one place. It's
drink the
only
Kool-Aid. It's
the
fine.
idiot- it's the idiots down in that one county in Long Island, which
Long
is
Island.
a very
Fucking Long
right-wing
It
conservative
was also
county.
I want to
Mm-mm.
say it was a Yonkers
No, it's
proposed
not
one,
Yonkers. They didn't do it, and it's stupid.
but they're
The-
going to
but I think
federally,
it
in
was
my opinion.
for yeah. Well, I wear a mask because I take methotrexate. It's an immunosuppressive. I'm at the grocery store. I put a mask on because I don't want to get an infection or get sick. I can't. It's brand new for me. So,
You
fuck
will see
anybody.
some pretty wild shit in Brooklyn though. When I was there was like they were moving a piano into this building. This guy's like slapping it with a fish, like a tuna.
Oh, you mother!
And I was
No,
like,
no,
you
no,
can't
no,
tuna
no.
fish.
Tuna fish. Boom, boom.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
freeform. That's off the cuff. I'm just freeforming dad jokes.
That's
That's
okay.
not bad.
No,
We
but
need a little
honestly,
levity. We're not supposed to be getting stressed out.
they were piano movers and it was locked on the back of the truck. And I was like, doesn't it have keys?
Yeah. All right, let's take a deep breath. Doesn't have keys.
Can I also say I want to sincerely
Yeah.
Thank you,
apologize
Nadia.
to Jean.
Making
Yes,
it
Nadia.
rain.
I
Wildfires
want to apologize
to who?
because I
Oh.
read Jean's message earlier about how they they felt like I was being mean to them. I don't want to be mean to Jean. I feel like Jean has a rapport with me that I personally, they say things to personally
You'd
make me
actually
upset.
like
They
her,
do it a
though.
lot, and I do it back because I think it's part of the fun.
That's
So
how you
I
know Andrea
apologize
likes you.
if I love the arguments. I'll be honest with you. So again, I don't want to. I know if someone walks in on you getting into an argument with me, it could seem really bad out of context. I apologize. I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want anyone in your family to feel bad. You trigger me. You know what you're doing. I'm doing it. It's a dance. It takes two to tango. That's all I'm saying on the front.
Shit talking is a two-way street, as I like to say.
Okay, now can I take a deep breath? I'm so red.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you drinking there?
Vitamin
Sandy?
water. It's
Oh, me too.
club soda mixed with a little bit of vitamin fizz and what else is in there? Electrolytes.
Oh, you gotta have electrolytes.
I'm
Yeah.
ill-advised, but I'm drinking coffee.
All right,
Not
singing
bad.
racist masks are only banned if the person is committing a crime or is planning to commit a crime. So obviously, I am not planning to commit a crime at the grocery store. I am planning to just not go home.
So the
and get
thing
sick.
about that is
Right.
it's about enforcement because they're going to ask you to take your mask off and cough in your face and infect you with any sort of virus. And then you have to say, oh, well, I need to wear a mask for medical or religious reasons, but it's already too late. So it doesn't matter what the rules are, if there's exemptions about committing a crime, that none of that matters because cops have the power to just ask you to take it off no matter what the context is. And they're going to use and manipulate that power.
I think I'm very lucky in that I live in a really, really rural area where none of this is going to happen. Like, I'm not where there's really a lot of people. I just
I'm
can't.
dreaming of that.
There's no protest. I mean, there's nothing here. It's just real red America. Just go to the store, wear a mask. If anybody looks at me, I've got gray hair. Fuck you. It's growing
I
out.
so badly want to like. My ideal spot is
Your
a
state has-
tiny little something in
Yeah.
a chunk of a lot of land
Yeah,
that
your
other
state
people are not
has
allowed to
it.
go on.
Your state has it. You have some pretty nice places in that state.
Up north, yeah.
Yeah. One of the guys I follow on here, he's a permaculture guy. He's got a big spread up in northern Michigan. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rick Larson, he would never be here to watch, but he's interesting on learning. Man, the guy can plant all kinds of shit. He could definitely live off the land. Pretty cool. That I
I
like.
recently went to my sister's like vacation house because she's an angel, and I filmed a series of things.
You're
So
breaking
the
up.
vacation house is in heaven. She's an angel.
Jake
Also-
froze. Look, Jake froze.
They're like the details about the vacation house are
Yeah.
about to get leaked, and then God
Ladies and
intervened.
gentlemen,
Was
I
like, "Nah."
show you an adult.
Nico in the chat says, "Andrea, can I go
he
now?
frozen?
Only if you pay me money, then you're allowed to
Jake-
leave. You have a
Jake-
tax for leaving. I'm sorry, it's a private tax, so I hope that that's okay with you. If you don't
Jake's
mind
frozen.
private tax.
Jake is looking up north to the Angel Land in Michigan. He's not here.
Asking the handler behind the camera.
look.
Is
Oh,
that
there
okay?
he is. Look,
Oh,
there's
shit,
two
we got two
Jakes.
Jakes. Oh fuck!
Now
Yeah.
Jakes.
we're really in trouble. No, actually, it would be worse if it
I
was
got to be
really
honest.
good.
I am on too many drugs to deal with this. Can we get the other one out of here? Like, I can't.
I would have
And
left
now
if you
I'm
would
over
kick me
here
out.
again. Now I'm stuck on this fucking corner. Oh god!
That's pretty funny.
Well, I
Pretty
was
funny.
gonna say that I filmed promotions for my first ever sponsorships.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, a company called Red Tiger purchased a lot of
Do that to
a
all of them.
lot of what do you call it? Ad space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just. Oh, hey, what's up? We got 2-letter hex. Sweet.
And you are a voice guy or an actor? What are you doing?
I did both for a
Okay.
while. I might do it again just because it's I can't stress enough. It's a great way to
Yeah,
make
Dawn
money.
is an actress. My daughter she sent me a picture of she
Should we
was on the
play it?
set because Buffalo is very, very very it's a theater city, really cool places. And the picture she sent me, if anybody saw it and didn't know, it was all beat up and bruised and all. She's always in these little indie things, but it's cool. So I can imagine you like it. I don't know what she's getting paid. She does photography too, but that's cool, Jake.
Well, thank you. If you guys
I
want to
think
check
she's
it out,
trying
I
to
did
do
put
what you're doing.
the link to the sponsorship in the
Are
description.
we allowed to make fun of
did?
this?
Oh, that's right. That's what.
Like,
it
I mean,
was.
is that going to
saw
fuck
that.
up your deal if I say like this looks like garbage? Why would
Well, I
anyone
don't
buy
think
this?
you will because I think you'll
I'm
be
looking
impressed
for
with
it.
their product line. It's pretty
Okay. And you posted that so this is an ad, but like it's not
Mhm.
like they reached out to your YouTube. You worked with like an ad agency.
Come on,
good. Well,
The
I
show
came
is
across
sponsored
it.
by Red Tiger Energy Drink. Red Tiger.
不适合胆怯的糖尿病患者。
This show is sponsored by
Yeah.
Red Tiger Energy Drink. Red Tiger.
不适合胆怯的糖尿病患者。
Yeah. What happened is I was in a parking lot structure,
it's not the enemy.
and a
Sleep
gentleman
is the enemy.
came out of the shadows and said, "Nothing now." And I was very confused. But after we got some Hooters, we decided we could do business together.
When you got Coors. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Coors.
hilarious. Oh,
And then prostitutes.
bye, Dave.
Oh, geez, Dave, leaving so soon. Hey,
Yo!
Dave Marvin,
The
thank
Mohawk
you so
Fund?
much. Again, very generous, $50. Got to run big day tomorrow. Orthodontist for my son. Could be worse. Could be for you. And then outfitting him with all new snowboard gear. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. Going to Miss Friday, going on a date. Here's some Friday support. I'll catch the replays later. Cheers, everyone. Good luck on that date. Have a good time. Yeah, Friday is going to be fun. We're going to be talking about an independent
Yeah, what
comic
time are you
Kickstarter.
on? You're on the same time I am?
9. Yeah, I'm going on
Aw.
at 9. Sorry.
Well, I've
We
got
should do
it's
something.
okay. I've got Jennifer, and guess what? I've got Allison. Allison, I'm pretty sure her last name is Bennett. She's from North Carolina. She's from wherever. She lost everything. And she's in our community. So she's coming on to tell her story and what's happening and all
Wow.
that, and what she experienced. Yeah.
One time I did. Yeah, hold on real quick. Democracy Meow. We talked about it. Yeah.
Oh, I like that name so much.
It's in the description of Sandy's
Yeah.
video, the link to the article.
We
So-
talked a lot about it.
I
One
did have
time
you
I
on
did
it.
this very intense, like, it was one of these things at the corporate gig where I had to do some crazy amount of work. It was not okay. I was working 20-hour days for weeks. It
Mhm.
was wild. The CEO had been formerly the CEO of Burton, and now this is a ski brand where I was, but I snowboarded.
Barry
And
Burton.
No, and
I
Jake
don't know if
Burton,
it'll show.
and he gave me
It won't.
a all black credit card and was like, there's just a number on it, and he goes, go to the Burton website, whatever you want, use this. And I was
What?
like, really? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what's this going to cost you? And he goes, me, nothing. And I was like, okay. So I went to the Burton website, and there was no limit. And I walked away with it. This is a fat bonus for all this crazy work I was doing. I walked away with several snowboards, all kinds of boots, bindings. My wife and I were just hooked up.
And then
I-
you opened up an eBay account.
Hooked
I had
up.
snowboards I wasn't even using. And I was like, this is ridiculous. So like I started giving them away. It was cool. I never seen a credit card
It's
like
cool.
that.
Snow.
Was it this show where I was talking about the holiday I made up, Cold Time?
No,
you know
I
what
talked
it was,
about
but I don't remember.
Cold
I don't
time.
remember the
And
details.
I
We talked
said
about
that-
last year.
And I said that I created the Cold Time Monkey. Does this ring any bells?
I've
No,
heard
I
about
remember
Cold
you,
Time.
you. I don't remember the core of the. You did talk about it. I remember that. I don't remember what was the holiday itself.
Yeah, well, Cold Time is just a holiday that lasts all season long. It starts when it gets cold and it ends in spring. And it
Okay.
encompasses all of there's no culture war because it's like, what do you celebrate? Hanukkah, Christmas? Great, that's Cold Time. Now it's all Cold Time. So we can all just celebrate Cold Time as this one big all-encompassing thing when we give out gifts and take care of people who have less because it's cold outside, right? And I was like, this would have been really good because now like Hallmark can just start selling more shit because now they can incorporate Cold Time cards into everything else, right?
Win-win.
TV movies, it could be Cold Time, Lifetime movies, right? Like you could do that all year. You don't just have to do it for a couple weeks in December.
Sounds like
See
a
what I'm
good
saying?
trick.
That's
See how
the
this
thing I
works?
hate
Oh,
about
cold time.
because like December is not the coldest month. It's like February usually in my experience that it's the
It's like
coldest.
February, yeah.
Yeah, like and everyone fucking is like, "Oh, it's so cold in December." And then Christmas happens and we can't have any cold. So I'm full support of Cold Time.
So
And
I think
would argue we need to abolish the rest of these stupid fucking religious holidays. And fucking Chanukah, fucking goddamn Christmas. What the fucking goddamn Christ? Get rid of that goddamn shit.
All of
Cold
them.
Time?
well, see, this would work, right? And so, Andrew, I think it was Andrea that said, what's your Santa Claus or whatever?
Yeah.
And I
we
was like,
need-
it's the Cold Time monkey, the monkey of Cold Time.
right.
And I alluded to some postcards I had made, and I was like, I can't find them. I found them. Do you want to see the images I did
Yes.
of the?
Oh,
Whoa, look at that.
So he's either got like
So
a gift
cute.
or a bottle of booze, right?
The middle center
The
bottom.
holiday that lasts all season
And what he
long.
does is he steals shit from people's houses, like a gift or booze, and gives
Oh,
them
look
out
at
to
that.
other people.
How
I
So
love
here-
how he's clutching that gift.
Yeah, and then see, he's like giving it to a houseless person, and
Oh, that's so good. Oh,
he's
look
like
at that,
poaching.
staring through the window.
It
Yeah.
is. That's terrific.
I love the cold time justice monkey. It's amazing.
Anyway, I found it.
That's really good.
I thought it was really funny to have like a monkey that would steal gifts and
That's
like, but you're
really
cool with it. You're like, oh,
imaginative.
the cold time monkey was here. He stole some shit from
Yeah.
us. I
Yeah,
hope
he
somebody
scratched
gets it.
off my eyebrow. It was really
That
fun.
is imaginative as shit. I love it.
So then
I
you can see
love it.
people would just start stocking extra booze and buying extra gifts because they're
Yeah.
counting on the cold time monkey snagging some.
What
of
are you
it.
going to do with that? That's really
that's from,
cute.
like, 2000. That's
Like, can we use it?
feel free. Yeah, it's public domain now.
Oh my gosh,
This-
it's so
this is-
cute.
The
Go for
public
it.
domain cold time monkey.
I was sending it to
Yeah, I
Hallmark on a
love it.
regular basis. I was sending it
Wow.
to NPR. I was like, somebody talk about this. And nobody did because they like the culture war.
Oh.
That's true.
They love
Almost
reporting
cute.
on all that.
Oh,
I love
just
that
love it
artwork.
because they like the culture war.
Artwork is nice.
Cold
They
time
want the
monkey would have
drama.
solved all this.
Yeah. It's a good concept, right?
How does the cold time monkey feel about the South Carolinian like laboratory monkeys, of which I
Oh
believe
my
there's like
God.
15 still at large?
Oh,
Is that
really?
correct?
They haven't caught them all yet.
Yep,
No.
there's I
Those
think last
little-
time I checked, there's like 15
Those
still
little
running
guys,
around.
they don't want to go into the. They won't go in. They're trying to get it with the food. You know,
Every
the
time I hear
poison.
something in the woods, I'm like, it could be a monkey.
Could be a monkey. Watch, they're gonna. Well, it was all females. I heard, or I heard on or saw in some video. If it's all females, then we don't have to worry. If it's not, there'll be a new invasive species in South Carolina.
Bring it on. I mean, it's like the Australian outback here right
my
now. It's
God.
crazy. There's giant lizards walking around. People like got them as
South
pets and let them
Carolina?
go. Yeah, and now they're like, if you see one, don't go near it. You're allowed to take them out
So
yourself.
abusive.
You're
Jesus.
allowed to exterminate them on site.
Jesus
They say,
Christ! I didn't
they're
know what was
invasive.
going on. They weren't supposed to be. They're not indigenous to there. Holy crap! I can't stand people sometimes. Just because of people wanting exotic pets. Wow. Speaking of
Yeah,
pets,
they're
I have another rescue.
oh yeah.
Yes, I'm a
You
sucker.
gotta have like a cat cam set up here. One of these, like you gotta do like
No,
the show from the living room.
Andrea,
or something.
I thought about that. I've got these cameras. I'm thinking I could make a hell of a lot more money doing
Yeah, do 24/7 Cat Central.
No.
You know,
Yeah, but I have to make sure the house was clean totally. I'd have
no,
to
it's
get a
even
good
better
re-
if it's not. Then people are gonna go like, "Whoa!"
No, my
It's like,
house is
where's
all right.
Waldo? You
I
know, you
clean all
find
the
some
time.
stuff.
I gotta vacuum and sweep the floors. I mean, it's constant. It's a job. But you're right. I should get a cat cam. I do have one in the dining room. So when I'm gone, I always know because I see the red one going by, and there's one that's hip to the camera who comes up and puts his face, it's him, it's the boy, his face in it. Well, the one I just got is 17 years old, and he is the sweetest thing. And they were going to put him.
That's
to
what you gotta
sleep.
do. Senior pets.
Yeah, he's beautiful, and
Breaks my
it's-
heart that
it's
somebody would be like, well, they're old now. I'm giving
No,
them
he
up.
died.
I
The
hate
guy
that.
died. The owner died, and the SPCA had
Oh,
no
that breaks
roof.
my heart too.
It does,
Yeah.
but he's happy here. He's been here a week, and he's never leaves me any meows, and he's getting used to all the other cats. And I got a cat door now in my basement, so they can go down to the basement. They're learning how to go through the cat door to the basement because the basement's gigantic, and they will have litter boxes. I'm training, even the old ones.
This
Yeah,
is a
so
show.
it's work. It is a
Cat
show.
Ranch.
Cat ranch. Yeah, the cat ranch, huh?
There you
Only-
go.
Only
Do
we're
it.
not in Las Vegas. That's not a whorehouse.
No, it's an actual cat ranch. There's no euphemisms. That's you see, you hear it, you see it. That's what it is.
Gotta get a better camera.
You
That's
can
funny.
affix like a camera to their collars or whatever, and then have
Oh
them
my
all
God.
like interact with each other in real time. Like just have like a screen of 9 setups or whatever.
Andrea, I can't afford to feed them all the time. I mean, I feed them every day. You know what I mean?
Well,
I
if
need
anyone out
litter
there
and
wants to
food
invest in this show, I
in
mean,
the
this is
show.
like we can raise some money for this. I mean, this is a lot better than the Mohawk thing
The
that Jake was going to
the
do.
senior cat house. Yeah, but these are senior cats. There's not that much going on.
Well, that's what makes like when something does happen, then
Yeah.
it's crazy because
The
like it's
little
like
one.
you're gonna watch the stream 9 hours, nothing happens, and then the moment you turn it off, you're gonna wake up the next day. Did you see what happened on the cat stream last night? They fucking did it again.
There's a
You're
guy
like,
that
"Oh, I
does that
fucking
with
missed it."
raccoons. Have you ever seen the Raccoon Channel? He's got an old hunting cabin and he completely made it over as a raccoon place and he has cameras. I've watched it. You could sit there for an hour and watch all these raccoons. They run in and out of the house. He's got the food and their toys and they fight and they play and it is hilarious.
That
And
guy's
like
got
any
diseases, though, right?
Oh,
What?
definitely.
from what?
You got to be
All
careful.
those
with it.
raccoons.
I don't know what he
Yeah.
has. I mean, I just know that the show is cute. And they're just wild. They come in the house and play, and he's got cameras. But he comes in there, but he wears gloves. I mean, he comes in, he changes everything. He wears gloves.
Mm.
He's not handling them. All he's doing is providing the entertainment and the cameras. They have like these mattresses upstairs that it's just hilarious, actually. And they're just getting in. They're wild. He doesn't touch them. They're not tamed. I mean, he feeds them. But if they had to go out and get food, they could.
Hmm.
It's
That
cute.
sounds awesome. We got
Oh
to
my
do that.
God,
with
there's
Senior Cat.
there's everything on YouTube. Yeah, but all right, I have one young one that jumps around. Then I have the one that's a bitch that fights with the others.
That's content. There we go.
There's content. Jesus
You
Christ.
can we
are,
okay?
you
Maybe
know what,
this is
Andrea?
getting
We
into
are
an illegal
definitely
territory. Can we
messed
get like
up.
start betting on who wins the fights? Like, can we get some meta games here? Like, you
No,
know,
it's
who's-
not fighting like that. It's the littlest cat, Dottie. Nope, no fighting. All she does is swat at everybody else. Okay, and they leave her alone.
one of these days someone's gonna step up though and say, "Hey, I've had enough of this."
Well, yeah, that's Max. She's 14. She's the big one. She screams.
It's a good name
Oh,
for a
jeez.
cat.
Yeah, that's right. You have a dog, Max. I know.
It's
Cats
true.
are all right. We're done with cats. So,
Dogs.
dogs.
I love 'em.
You have a
You
dog.
love 'em.
Any good dog
I
names?
do. I love dogs. I don't have any, but I love them. I've had many.
Yep.
You have a dog. You have your family's dogs, right, Jake?
The
I've
Jack
got a
Russell.
dog named Bennett, and he frequently
Bennett.
pairs up with my mother's dog
Yeah.
because I walk them together.
Where's Bennett? Can he come and can we see him?
Oh, he's a venerable gentleman. He's actually right over there, but
Just laying
he
around.
doesn't like to. Yeah, he does. He likes to lay on the bed with me, but he does not like to be picked up and held like this.
Okay. What is he?
He's a Jack Russell Terrier.
Oh, he's cute.
Oh, he's a
Andrea,
sweet
you have
boy.
your dog. Max is big. You have a big
Oh,
dog.
he's a big boy.
Mhm.
Max went to the vet recently
Yeah.
to get his he got to get shot.
Yeah.
He's gained a pound or two.
How much does he weigh?
Don't worry about it. But he's
She's
he's
modest on her
he's
dog's
chunky,
weight.
a little
Yeah.
bit, just a tad,
Okay,
maybe
chunky.
maybe I'm giving him a couple treats that he doesn't need, so I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
wean him down a little bit so I can pick him up. He loves when I pick him up, but he's like 70 pounds, so it's really fucking hard to
Okay.
pick this guy up. It hurts my back sometimes. I got to be very careful.
That
I did not pick up my Rottweilers, and they were like 100 pounds. And
Oh, he loves it when I
90
pick him
pounds.
up though, because he'll
I
go
did.
like he'll start growling a little bit. He'll go like,
Really?
and then he gets like.
No,
loves
they were too big. I
He
couldn't.
loves looking at the world from this angle. He's never usually up here. Like, whoa.
Matt,
You
do have
gotta-
a dog.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah, check it out. My dog hates
that's
selfies.
right. Your dog is always in the car with you. That's right. There's your. I knew you had a dog.
See how she never
I
looks
had
at the
this just
camera?
prepared. What
Beautiful.
the fuck? Like this
She's
is just something you had
beautiful.
available.
I love this. It's actually one picture that you put all those pictures and made a bunch of pictures of your dog, a guy and his dog. I've
Um,
seen your pictures on Facebook with your dog, so I knew that.
Yeah, now I can't get on the Facebook without having WhatsApp.
Oh,
They're
really?
like, we've sent a code to WhatsApp, and I'm like, I don't have WhatsApp.
I've never used
and there's no
that.
workaround. So I'm like,
Why?
fuck
I
you.
haven't
I
gotten
can't. What a
that.
ridiculous.
I
Check it
haven't
out.
gotten that.
Well, do you log
Oh.
off? I log off Facebook
No.
every time I not use it.
I just shut everything down, but I don't log off.
You
nothing ever
gotta give your dog
Mhm.
trainer treats, the real tiny ones.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
here's the thing.
Yep.
They train elephants with raisins. Because to
Yeah.
them, it's a
Oh.
reward. It doesn't have to
Yep.
be substantial. So I give my dog like 10 treats a day. It equals like 1.5 regular sized treats.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
I give Max like maybe 15 or so of the little small trainer ones. You know, I have like a couple puzzle games. You know, you stack them inside the puzzle and he has to figure it out. But then also I give him the good ones too because he's so good. He like, you know, he's just sometimes you just gotta give him
He's a
some
good
little
dog.
cookie, you know, like a little
Yep.
dog cookie.
Mine is
You know,
little.
I got him a
French ice
doggy
cream, little
donut a couple
biscuits.
weeks ago or months ago. I
Yeah.
don't know. He got a little doggy donut and he just ate it all at once. He just went like I was like, bitch, what the fuck?
Well, guys,
Tell you.
it's been a long night. I'm probably going to be the first one to say goodnight. Guys, in my
Okay.
chat, Jennifer and guest Allison on Friday night. And
it's just starting to get good.
Look, I know, but my back is killing me. And
This
I'm
is what we
tired.
need for fucking Sandy's cat ranch.
Yeah, this is Sandy. You got to hook this
But my
up.
cats don't go outside.
They don't
No,
need
it's just
like
in the
no,
house.
That is
your
really
whole house
cool.
is it's the set, you know.
I know I do, but yeah, my basement's a disaster area.
And cats going outside,
Look at
especially
that.
during
That
the bird
is
flu
really cool.
pandemic. There's been lots of reports of cats getting
Oh
sick.
no,
you know, 'cause
I'm
they eat
not
birds
letting
and
my
stuff
cats
like that.
go out.
For anyone out there who has cats
Yeah.
that go outside, just be careful about that kind of stuff.
Well, I live here. Everybody's cats outside
No
except for mine.
shit!
That's cool.
Holy,
I hate
you just
that.
gonna end it there?
That is
The
pretty
goddamn
wild.
Cloverfield.
It's like ending it with
Pretty wild. Pretty wild. All right, guys.
Well, it
Night,
is
Sandy.
12:03 a.m. on the East
Yeah,
Coast.
2
Sandy
hours. I am done.
Shellis is down for the count.
Yep.
You can't
Yep.
make it another 11 seconds?
Oh,
Come on, we're almost
6
there.
seconds.
are you going to
Okay.
count?
Oh, wait, I was wrong. It's only 2 seconds.
2, 1.
2-hour show. Good job, Sandy.
Yeah,
2-hour
Made it.
show.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
I have a lot of shit to do tomorrow. And I gotta
All
get up.
right.
And the first thing is finish repairing that goddamn wood stove because I'm cold. It's going to get cold and it's getting chilly. And
Yep.
the little electric heaters don't do it. Okay. Peace out. Good night, everybody. I
Sandy.
love you guys in my chat and all the
Yeah.
chats and everywhere. Bye.
Bye.
I love Sandy's chat too, despite popular beliefs.
I'm making a new comic with Harvey K.
Yo, all right.
Penciled 30 pages today. Put the first panel up in the members only community chat on YouTube. But there's one panel where it's like, I don't want to spoil it. The guy's giving a speech, so I had to draw like a crowd. And that wasn't there's ways to kind of fake that. You do the front row, just the back of their head. So you draw like 10 people, just the back of their head. And then you do real small people in the distance. That's you can fake, you can cheat that. You can make that easier to do. And then on the third page, Harvey's like, we're going to have to put a lot of people in this panel. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I had to draw 20 people like in one panel, just face on. It's awesome. I was glad to do it. And I was like,
Any
oh,
Easter
here's how we'll do it.
eggs? Any certain individuals?
No specific people. No.
Well, this is the time to
no
insert, like-
historical. Well, I'm wrong about all this, but no, like draw this guy. It was
Well, I
like,
mean,
draw
this is you
these
could
people.
insert like some side character here, and then use them later, and then say, "See, like a time traveler, like put someone who has like jeans on or something, like they're just way in the back,
Oh,
and then there's like a secret time traveler that appears,
oh,
and
I'll
then you
just
build a
put
meta
Jake
story.
in the crowd
Yeah.
of people.
Jake loves
Yes.
time travel. Absolutely.
I do
Top
love
hat,
time travel.
monocle, bow tie. Look at this fucker.
Yeah, what the hell is he doing
This
here?
guy's back here shaving.
What the fuck? Shaving with what is that? An electric razor?
Guy's at
What is- how
Gettysburg
does-
Address with an electric razor in the back.
what even is an electric razor?
But no, I have. It's really fun, and like Harvey and I met 3 different times, and we met today, even though we probably didn't have to, just because it's so fun to like jump on a call with him.
Might
And
as
like
well.
we were on today for like 40 minutes, I think. We're like, okay, we got this. I'll go draw it now. And he's like, we don't have anything else to talk about. And I was like, no, we would just be sitting here bullshitting, I guess. So anyway, more of that coming soon.
Yeah, Harvey was
Movie.
on the show last week. right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was on Left Past 10 last week.
That was a long time ago. I'll tell you, I've been experiencing some insane time dilation.
Yeah.
Like the last 2 weeks feels like several years, you know.
And I am not paying attention to the news.
I'm not either.
You can't avoid it. Which
No,
is
I literally am just not.
Good
Like,
and
the only
bad.
time I'm using the internet, you know, sometimes I'll look at Twitter. Sometimes I'm trying to wean off of it. But in this show, I mean, I'm not. It's all a bunch of fucky wucky.
I gotta tell you, I'm just walking around, and I know this is not healthy, but it's what's happening. I'm just walking around looking at fellow Americans, just thinking, "Fuck you." Just
I've been doing that
every-
my entire life since I was like 5 or 6 years old.
I've been doing that.
Hated him for a long
since-
time.
I mean, periodically I would feel that way, like when I'd be like, how can people support Bush, or how can, but it really got upped when Trump first got into office, and there was like a small amount of hope in 2020 because I was thinking like, hey, at least people are learning. But after this, I'm just like, I am going to do the work I do over the next 4 years, regardless. It's not about me. It's not about how I feel about things. But just on a personal level, I right now have no love for this place. This
I hate
collection of things
America, and
we've
more
decided to
importantly,
do.
I hate Americans because Americans are what makes this country so goddamn insufferable. Without Americans, we would have like that cool ass rock. We wouldn't have those 4 old white guys on it. We would just have a cool ass rock. We got the Grand Canyon, you know, but then Americans come along and they set up their old fucking weird ass shit. And now you gotta, you know, just, you know, America's not that
No,
bad. is all
no
I'm saying.
dogs allowed in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? America, pretty cool. And then Americans came along. You know, well, you know, we got rid of the old Americans, you know, and then we just kind of took the name. But hey, whatever, you know.
Yeah, I have no love for my countrymen right now, and I can't. Like, the thing is, imagine that from this point on, we get the best case scenario for everything, and things get fixed, and there's some intervention that we didn't see coming, or some scandal that actually catches on, and Trump is suddenly hated by his people and whatever. I'm still not going to turn around and be like, and now I have love for this country.
Oh yeah.
No,
I
I
am a
you are.
ball of hatred and
Seeing what you
resentment.
motherfuckers are.
I will resent the fuck out of all of my peers for the rest of my life. I will die. If my dying words are not, I fucking hate Americans. I mean, ideally, when I'm dying, there's going to be no such thing as Americans anymore. Ideally, right? Like, you know, it'd be pretty cool if I could outlive America. I'm pretty young. I might. I don't know about Letterhack. He's coughing up a storm over there. The mic's muted. Can't even fucking get a word in without coughing. But I think I'll make it past America. I don't know. I hope.
Fingers crossed.
This is like the reason why I'm the only person in South Carolina that doesn't own a firearm is because I do not want to deprive myself of the opportunity for someone to pull a gun on me and I somehow win that situation and then go, fuck you. Right.
I love that
Like,
attitude. Yeah.
This is my whole philosophy for life going forward. I am doing
Like,
this.
the 1 in 500 chance or whatever it is that you pull that off. That's the coolest effing thing. Hell yeah.
And then the news, they're all trying to get me to do an exclusive. I go with Sam Cedar, of course. He says,
Not left past 10.
he
Very
says,
interesting.
he says, Matt, you did it, man. You fucking thwarted that guy with the gun. You were unarmed. Pretty amazing. What do you have to say? And I just say, you guys know my classic line where I go, I'm an American, Sam. This is what we do, man. Stand up to that shit.
I thought you were gonna say like, "What are you talking about? I got 2 arms right here."
Fire. The big guns. But that's, I mean, this
That
is
would be rad.
that you got to find the silver lining. And if we pull this out, if we end up inspiring future generations because of our struggle right now, boom. That is exactly what we're going to do.
You know what though? I
hope
want to inspire current generations. You know, a little
Yeah.
controversial take. You
I
know,
don't know,
future
man.
generations.
Good luck with that.
I want to inspire the current ones. Like, what's going on with those Gen Z men that are obsessed with like Donald Trump's little manosphere podcast network? What's going on with those guys, man? Like, you know, that shit blows my mind.
Nadia, then I hope they do. I hope Donald Trump leaps off and they all follow. That's I honestly, like, you're talking about not a moment of mourning from me. If we discuss
The only thing I'd be mourning is why couldn't this happen sooner?
Yeah. And to y'all's points, like, that's kind of what I'm saying. Is like, I'm going to keep fighting for the better future because there is no choice but to do that. It's just if and when we get there, I'm not gonna be able to turn around and be like, and now I feel a kinship. Like, no, anybody that was alive and voting now, my opinion is just gonna be through the floor.
Yeah, it's like I had this awesome pair of shoes. I love these shoes. And one time I stepped in shit and I was like, oh, I could fix it. Another time I stepped in shit and I was like, man, fuck these shoes.
In this analogy, the shoes are made of shit.
Yeah, right. Here's a good moment, Andrea. You'll like this, and
I don't like much.
I think she was right. The other day, my wife and I are taking a walk, and she goes, "It's like Andrea fucking said a few weeks ago. We should have just let Trump win the second term, and we wouldn't have to be dealing with this shit right now." And I was like, "Did Andrea say that?"
I said that at one point. I mean, I don't know how much I believe it. Like, but honestly, though, because it's like,
I mean,
if he won in
wouldn't be this.
2020, it would be really bad. Like, there's a good chance I probably like wouldn't even be here right now, right? Like, that's very possible. But like, also the resentment that built up, and then also the planning that was behind the
pettiness
scenes.
now, yeah.
Because like
right.
they planned all of this shit without anyone knowing because they weren't in the White House. There's no cameras looking at them, right? So it's like it would have been bad if Trump won in 2020, But honestly, though, just like the whole Joe Biden zombie corpse delaying the inevitable thing, it's, like, and this is what I said when the Republicans won the House in 2022. Like, it's over. It's done. Because the Republicans are going to gridlock. Everyone's going to blame Biden for all of this. And then Biden starts running again. It's like, what the fuck we do? Right? Like, so the real nail in the coffin was Bernie Sanders, So like, there's that time in between Bernie losing the primary and then Trump winning where it's like, at that point, it probably might have been, honestly, in retrospect, maybe you should have voted for Howie Hawkins, I mean, hey, just throwing that one out there. Notice the one time Jill Stein's not on the ballot is the time you should be voting Green Party. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out.
Oh my God. I love the idea that Matt's wife is like a loyal follower of Andrea's, but doesn't subscribe to his channel. I get that for free.
Oh. Yeah. No, and your mic's muted.
I'm not
sure that was a great one-liner.
I just said I'm not offended.
Well, I mean, I'm probably not going to be posting on my channel for a long time. So
let me tell you about marriage. If you hang in there for as long as we have, over 20 years, you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm not offended by that. I'm not going to be like upset. There's so many times throughout our marriage where I'm like, why would you say that? Why? I'm not saying that. You know me better than that. I don't mean that way, right? Blah, blah. And now it's just like, huh? What? Okay. What do you want for dinner? Let's sit here and Have a nice dinner. I don't give a fuck. I'm not offended. I've gotten over it. Whether it's pride, ego, whatever, it's washed away.
Oh, that's good.
I know.
So
I
when
do
she
this every
said like
week
your
now.
channel fucking sucks and Andrea's the only good part of the show,
I'll just
and
be
Jake
like,
and Sandy, you're just gonna be like, oh, probably true.
I'd say, I don't know. There's 62 people watching right now. I guess it could be 63. Whatever.
It's no big deal. Yeah, I mean, as soon as you leave, then we get to 63, because then you start watching the stream because you're not on it anymore.
I've known my wife since high school. We dated in high school. Like,
That's wild.
we should be over that shit by now. We should be well past petty disagreements and pride getting in the way of like reasonable logic. But sometimes it's
Reasonable
just,
logic, such as I'm correct.
sometimes it's just human nature to bicker and fuss, and then when it's over, it's like, all right, want to do something?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not.
I just
like,
love
"I'm
arguing.
going to
And
bed."
yelling I love the game. That's why I love when someone comes in the chat and I just like single them out. I just love it. And this is what I was saying a couple of weeks ago. It's like free speech was fun while we had it. Like, I mean, when Trump takes office, you're not going to be seeing my free speech. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a good chance you're not going to see much of that. But like, while we still have a little bit of free speech, I'm going to use it to get into some arguments with dummies in the chat room. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it's, I'm trying to cut
have a
back on
question.
Twitter, so I got to yell at stupid people in some capacity. So we get a Trumper coming in here. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna.
Look, I don't see a lot of commercials, but there are like commercials online, like before a video that you can't skip, and I just sort of endure them. It's 30 seconds of my life, whatever. There are a lot of commercials out there now that promote diversity and they're equity-based messages, right? And
I love when the commercials have the trans person open up the bottle of fossil fuels that they're injecting into
Right.
the atmosphere.
so do you think like those marketing people are going to be like, oh, thank God we can just go back to promoting the product. We don't have to worry about that now. Or do you think they're going to be like, no, fuck, we are sincere about this. We want our advertising to be like this. Third option, do you think it'll just become illegal to do that? And they'll be like, you can't,
no
this is
black
woke
people in commercials.
culture. You can't do
Yeah.
this shit.
I mean,
I
I
don't
think
know.
they're
What do you
going to
think?
definitely do some sort of like reverse DEI mandate of some kind. Like, you need to have this amount of like white Christians being in your representation. But also, they're definitely just like, there was an ad campaign of someone who was like wearing a keffiyeh or whatever, and like this Zionist group like basically bullied the shit out of this advertising
Oh
company
yeah,
that said
Who
you
was
should
that?
have. I don't remember the
Like an
company.
airline or something. Yeah, I remember
something
this.
so
Yeah,
like just innocuous. Like, there's just people doing something, and one of them's wearing a keffiyeh, and then they're just gonna not include people because they don't want to deal with the
apologized.
groups. Yeah, they apologize for having the audacity of a Palestinian. Oh, not even like confirmed. There could have been someone in a totally different area. Like, it's not just Palestinians wear keffiyehs, right? And it's like, like I have a keffiyeh. I bought that shit at a bookstore like 7 or 8 years ago. Like, this is not like a new thing, but
Ahead of the times.
it's insane. So I think that that's going to be the direction. They're just going to self-censor out of a fear of having to deal with the litigation or the hate mobs, and you're going to end up, and you might see like some sort of like white Christian family mandate or something. Like, commercials have to promote American values, and that means that they have to all be white and Christian and worship Jesus or whatever. I
Yeah,
can see
I
that.
do think the worst of the cultural stuff is going to come from non-government groups, and the only thing that we should be prepared for in terms of the government is absolutely no protection whatsoever. So the way the government is going to harm minorities is just
So, like,
by
for
not
example,
protecting
like rape is going to be legal, essentially decriminalized,
Pretty much.
in the same way that like drug laws in a lot of places, like, oh, we're just not going to go after people for weed anymore. It's technically still illegal, but it's decriminalized, right? So in a lot of most red states, rape will be effectively decriminalized because who the hell is going to prosecute that?
Right.
You're going to have to go to a trial of some kind. You're going to have to like take a rape kit. You're going to have to get your DNA processed. You're going to have to write down your name and number and where you live and give it to people that are probably on the rapist team. So like essentially we're looking at the Wild West when it comes to stuff like that, right? And then let's say you rape someone and you impregnate them. Well, then now essentially they're your slave. You know, you own their body essentially. So and who the cops going to come and rescue you? Of course, fucking not. Like most cops are rapists. Most cops are wife beaters. Most cops are abusers. Of course, they're going to side with the rapist every single time.
I was ahead of the game too. I had a Che Guevara shirt in the 80s. But, to be fair, I thought it was Santana. I'm not kidding.
Oh, that's not a joke.
My uncle set me straight, and I was like, I thought this was Santana. He goes, no, that's like a Cuban revolutionary. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's awesome.
I was like a little kid.
That's amazing.
I
can see it though.
50 on December 10th.
That's wild, man.
I know.
Mazel tov.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
I haven't quite made it.
True.
Except according to AARP.
Close enough.
I'm there. I don't know. What do you think? Like, I don't put too much in it. I'm not like, 50. Whoa. This is what's wild about it. This is the wild aspect of being 50. It's possible that's the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
I got every day. And so then you like look back at the first 50 years and you're like, damn.
Well, statistically, 40 is more likely to be the halfway point.
Not for me, man. I'm at least cursed to live forever.
Yeah.
But-
my daddy's 97.
Yeah, see,
Halfway
but
point, baby.
I think like if I have another 50 years, if I can do all that over again without the adolescent part where I didn't know what the fuck I was
You
doing.
wasted all that
Oh
goddamn
my
time.
gosh. Like, of course, now there'll be the later years where my body is rejecting me and failing and my mind will slip or whatever. So there will be some of that, but I can fight that at least. So
Oh yeah.
I think like it's very exciting. Like being
Yeah,
50
plus-
is just like thrilling right now.
You don't really remember the first 5 or 6 years of your life.
I don't
And-
remember the first 23. Give or
Yeah,
take.
and then think about how much over your life you experienced, and you know for a fact you experienced, but you have no memory of it at all. So perception, I don't know. I think I don't feel like 50 is. It's a cool benchmark. I'll say that for sure. But 50 in the modern era, back in the day, you would have still been required to serve the king's army. So.
Oh yeah, and like, it's not retirement, but this is something that occurred to me when I was, I think, I don't know, 32 or something like that. Like, cuz my mom had 4 kids by the time she was 30. And then when I got to around that age, I was like, holy shit, like my mom had a lot of responsibility at this age that I'm not willing to have. And I know, lots of people do have whole families by then. But like what occurred
Got
to
a
me
hot
was that
take on that one.
what occurred to me was I was in a sense giving my parents way too much. I don't know if like giving them credit is the right phrase, but I was like, you guys are adults and you should be taking care of me and you should have a lot of shit figured out at this age because you're a grown up and you have
Yeah, they
But
should.
like when I got to that age, I was like, well, I don't have anything figured out. Like I really,
This
like
is why
you're still
I'm a
pretty young at
proponent
30.
of the war on parents, because like I am 28 years old. The idea that anyone even a couple years older than me would be having a child in this economy, in this world, give me a fucking break. I know that you know that I know that you know that you have no fucking idea what the hell's going on, and you're bringing a child here. Man, like every time I get older and I think, like I see like I was looking at Twitter or whatever, some social media, and I was like seeing this trend of like TikTok moms of like 19-year-olds that like their entire channel is like, it's like daily videos of them feeding their babies, and they're like 18, 19, 20, and it's like this is like the trad wife thing, also that like people are, and I'm like, what the fuck? What? Like, you're like, not only are you having a kid that early, but you're raising them on the internet. Like, I mean, what are we doing here, man? Like, come on, put a cork in that thing, for Christ's sake.
I do think in like 20 years, people are gonna cringe at that. Like, oh God, people used to just put their kids raw on the internet. Like, I think we will eventually have laws that are like, you can't put somebody online without their consent. And kids can't give their consent.
I feel that way about baptism.
I agree.
Okay.
You're drowning a kid. Oh, but it's only for like 10 seconds.
I was like, why am I this religion? Okay.
Yep.
What?
Now I am struggling with this. So this is over my head.
Oh, yeah.
1200 times Permian Triassic Celsius. Okay, let's figure it out. This is like those little puzzles on the bottle cap, the beer bottle cap.
Oh, yeah.
1200 time. Please don't explain this, Nadia. We're figuring this out. And thank you for the $5 and the challenge. 1200 times Permian Triassic Celsius per decade. All species sperm counts collapsing. Peak oil was 2005. There is no future. Limits to growth was too optimistic. Oh, okay. So because of climate change and global warming specifically, I don't get the peak oil was 2005.
Like oil
Like-
availability, production ratios, essentially.
So like we can measure a decline in sperm count across the board based on when oil was topped out.
Well, it's more
And
so
because now
that
we have
all of these
it's
things are happening at once.
global warming related.
Well, yeah. Well, the sperm count collapsing is a lot of it's due to like microplastics as well. Like that's a huge thing. Is that it's just like clogging up the sperm thing. I don't know. There's some
Nadia,
sort of clog.
Nadia, you have sent in so many super chats tonight. Will you mind just telling us what you're reading? Like where you what articles is it Substack?
We got to
or
get
here's
Nadia on the show.
Substacks? What are you reading? What are you getting your like who the fuck knows what a Permian Triassic is?
Well,
Anybody on
that's
screen
a
right
period
now?
of time. I know what that is. That's a time period, like Jurassic.
Oh. So are we in the Permian Triassics?
I don't think so.
Maybe people are just smart. I'm the guy who is glad to not be the smartest guy in the room. I
Yeah,
I will
love
never know
not
I'm
being
not
the
the
smartest
smartest
guy.
guy in the room.
What'd you
Jake, I
think?
just wanted to say, like, you have looked like you're trying to like sell us Bitcoin for like the last couple hours. You got the suit and tie, you got the bright orange ass background. Bitcoin's at 96,000, whatever.
Oh, I'm making a
Like-
killing. The problem is you guys don't have the smell, and I'm not going to show the label of the shirt, and I know it certainly doesn't look like I engage in physical activity ever, but this shirt is ludicrously saturated with husky Polish Lithuanian sweat.
It smells
And,
like Bitcoin, is what it does.
Oh, it will.
Are you
apparently-
Polish Lithuanian or are you trying to tell us?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And you know, technically speaking, it has some sweat from some other dudes on it too. So it's a collection of
Very
and
cool.
all that's soaked in matted, greasy chest hair. Of
And
which
you're
I
just
have no
leaving it
shortage.
on?
Well, it was that or that matted, disgusting hair would just sort of paint the front of this shirt. It's a real horror show.
Yeah, I'm thinking pop band, 1990s pop
Well, the
band
orange
too,
is for
yeah.
Bitcoin. That's the exact Bitcoin coloration. That's why I said that.
Oh,
Let me
I
real
see.
quick go to iPhone commercial.
Nice.
There we go. You
Right.
got some like effervescent like borders going on. Oh, fading back in.
Hey, Benjamin Dixon's coming on my show.
Oh,
Okay.
your show. You're always
Yeah,
hogging all the
Monday.
good guests. Get him back on this show.
He'll probably come on.
No, I gotta be real with y'all. I like hanging out with you three. I do like some other folks. Like weirdly, I have fun when Harvey K's here. I don't know why. I don't know what about Harvey K.
He's awesome. That's
He
why.
is awesome.
Yeah.
He's just like he's one of us. I feel in that weird way. Here's another one. Nadia, you're 100% our vibe. I don't know what our vibe is, but Nadia Yvette Chambers is one of them.
Well, I was gonna
Thank
say
you.
I love not being the smartest guy in the room, but at some point I'm like, okay, if everyone else is smarter than me, I'll just leave and go find a room full of dummies. Be like, at some point, it's like, well,
So
have
you're
fun
gonna
with your
become a
book club.
Republican streamer. Okay.
Yeah. Setting up the groundwork.
Somebody emailed me, a viewer emailed me, and I've never seen them in the chat. At least it didn't stand out. Maybe they've been in the chat before. And I
Oh,
just
that's
don't
so
remember.
offensive, by the way. You know, I never heard of them before.
No,
Maybe
it's
they were
really-
posting, but they didn't really say anything that I would
I
remember.
know my chat pretty good, and I always say hi to new folks. But there was
Well, plenty of people, yeah, they don't want to chat. They like
they're
just wanna
looking
watch
for a
stuff.
book list for like lefty politics, and I was like, well, I'm not really the guy to provide you with that, but here's all the authors I've interviewed, and threw in some graphic novels as well.
Yes.
That like about like housing in Detroit, and then the one about unions from the guy in Australia who worked at the Amazon factory. And so it was like 3 of Harvey K's books, Abolish Rent by Tracy Rosenthal. I just read that. She
What's
co-authored that.
What's a subject matter that you find is easier covered with illustrations? Like,
Everything.
for example, I think if you're talking about Gilded Age politics, like early 1900s
Yeah,
politics,
everything.
it
Probably even
says
math,
a lot.
but
It just says a lot if you could draw a picture of like what the rich had, like a sprawling mansion next to what the poor had, which was effing dirt. You know, that's something I think that lends itself well. But is there anything else that comes to mind? Or you know what? Another one. When you drew the leaves in your last comic that they evoked images of like the world burning and being on fire.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like that did a lot. I thought like this, I'm getting more from this as a comic than I would as like an audiobook or something.
Yeah, and so the way you should look at it is it's the juxtaposition of words and images, not just
Mhm.
illustrating part of it or illustrating words. It's how you use the words and the images together. This is why, when Harvey and I make comics, it's unlike any other process I've ever been a part of, where we sit there with it on screen and it's like we're both making something out of the clay. We have blank page and we start putting things, frames and panels, and then words, and we move that around. Then we think, how big does it need to be? Okay, what do you want to show? What environment are we in when we're having this conversation? And we start putting it together in a way that really does create like a harmony between show versus tell.
Mm.
And it's okay to label this. It's okay to have a caption on this. It says what it is. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we're making these little decisions as we go in the spirit of juxtaposition, which is,
Fair.
that's when I teach comics to students, the first thing I say is juxtaposition. It is the harmony or using two separate elements to convey a single idea. In this case, words and images. You can't have one without the other.
Not necessarily two contrasting elements.
Yeah, it's just two separate elements. So like, I can't really think of another situation where juxtaposition works so perfectly.
Yeah, that Gilded Age hypothetical panel where one of the corrupt politicians in front of their mansion is saying, I work for the common man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed with that.
I mean, that's the thing is that like it still blows my mind that regardless of if they cheated or not, whatever, that 75-ish million motherfuckers fell for
That
that, man. They just
that's
fell
what we got
for
to
it.
address.
Oh
Or had
man.
some bizarre logic
Oh,
they
oh,
used
the egg
to.
prices, dude. Gas was cheap, man. Gas was
All-
fucking cheap, bro.
How many
Oh,
billionaires does he
man.
have in his cabinet already?
100% of our problems stem from that right there. That's we got to address that. In fact, I wouldn't even deign to call this a hidden blessing or whatever, even a silver lining, but the ember we must pull from the ashes is that now we have time to focus because we can't do much else. So we have time to focus on that one problem, and that is our main problem, which is people fall for this grift, and
they're
we just
fucking, they're
can't.
so.
Who's
This is
the
why I hate
comedian?
Americans. They're just so
Me
like,
too.
if you're stupid, that's fine, whatever. But like,
Yeah.
they're maliciously stupid.
Yeah.
They're dangerously stupid. You
There's
know
a
what I mean?
comedian. This guy was like one of the main writers on The Simpsons. I forget his name. He does great stand up, but he was talking about the price of eggs. He's like, how many eggs are these motherfuckers eating? Are they just walking around with a carton of eggs under their arm at all time like it's a pack of cigarettes? Like, what the
I've
fuck?
seen Americans shop.
Stop eating
Americans don't
eggs.
eat fucking eggs. They eat Oreos. They eat Doritos. They eat fucking fruit roll-ups.
I know they're just
Capri
using it
Suns
as like
and
a
fucking
watermark
horseshit.
or whatever for like a high.
Yeah, but it's
that's
just like
so true.
Americans are just so goddamn stupid, man. Like, and that's it. Like, one of the other things that I see this around is because of voter demographics and how they break things down of like the non-college educated white people. I just want to say I'm a high school dropout. I'm not falling for Trump's fucking bullshit. Like, I get college education's a decent proxy and that's what demographics use, but it's not just about college education that somehow inoculates you to bullshit. Because college, like, in a lot of ways, I'm pretty anti-school, just for people that don't know that. I think that they make you believe a certain other set of bullshit that just happens to be slightly closer to reality, right? And that's good. But just because you vote Democrat doesn't mean you necessarily are engaging in reality. I think if you are engaging in reality, you're probably going to vote Democrat, but that doesn't mean every Democrat does. Most Democrats are pro-Zionist, insane, psychopathic freaks, right? They also have their own little bullshit bubbles that they fall for, right? But like, that's the thing, is that like, I can't imagine falling for the Republican scam, because like, it's just, you just look like do these, like, I guess they literally just never looked it up, right? Like, that's why you see like the Google Trends, what is a tariff on November like 9th or whatever, people wanted to look. But like, how do you just like engage with the world? We're not talking about non-voters. We're talking about people who voted for Trump because of like gas price or whatever. Like,
People thought
you just
Biden was
look it
on the
up
ballot,
once.
apparently.
Look
Like,
it up
they didn't
once.
even know who the opposition was. So
It's just one Google, like if you're going to make the effort of walking into the voter booth, just think about research at all. Like, you're going through the effort to vote.
there was a caller to the Majority Report in like 2020, 2021 who was advocating for shoplifting. And at the time it was funny because the
Hell yeah.
caller themselves, they were very distant and had this cadence where they're like, people
Absolutely.
should just shoplift. And Sam was like, what is this? And I remember thinking, well, that's definitely going to happen in the future one day where you're going to have to do crime. And now I'm just like thinking about that all the time. Like, this is probably it. So
I
the
love
other-
shoplifting. I've been shoplifting since I was a kid. I would steal food to eat. Fuck yeah. Shoplift.
So the I love it. So what I'm thinking about in relation to that, because that gets my mind going. Should kids be going to school? I mean, if
I got a
you
hot
see who they're putting in charge
I
of
got a
the
hot take.
Department of Education, what they're trying to teach kids, what they're
I think
trying to
homeschooling is
keep
going to
from
be a
them.
mandatory for leftists, in my opinion. And that we need to, what's the downsides of homeschooling is lack of socialization. So we need to build those in opposition to the government,
Commune.
because the public, like, they have all these exemptions for private schools, right? So we could just create a left-wing private school. We could just create a left-wing private institutions that don't have to adhere to these strict guidelines, because they're going to be enforcing this Christian nationalist fascist garbage on public schools. So we need to create private alternatives. And hey, it's a $700,000 entry fee, but if I know you, I can vouch for you. You know, you can get in. That's how all these Ivy League schools work, is it's millions of dollars to get in. Unless your daddy went to that school, then you get to go. We need to build these alternatives, because I wouldn't trust sending my child. I'm not going to have a child, by the way. But if I did, I wouldn't trust sending them to the COVID factories. I wouldn't trust sending them to the indoctrination stations, having them to sing their fucking Pledge of Allegiance to the country. Fuck that fucking horse shit. Fuck that garbage. Yeah, I don't think we should be. And also, let's be honest. What is the future going to be looking like? Like, do we really need to be like sitting in school learning about how great George Washington was, when we're going to need to learn how to fucking desalinate water in the near future? Or we're going to need to learn how to recognize when air is breathable or not breathable based on the toxic like fumes that you can smell? Like, that's what we need to be teaching kids. Who gives a fuck about George fucking
Paul
Washington?
Revere. Who cares about Paul Revere?
Yeah,
to
fuck that
grow
guy.
vegetables, my man.
The British are coming. Maybe you should have stayed home
Shoplift.
and let the British come, because honestly, I don't know, man. Hey, the British, they have a lot of problems too, but hey, I'm just saying, maybe they should have came.
I know I've been talking about stuff like this quite a bit, but it's been on my mind, and I like getting advice from you guys, particularly live. I really want, in my repertoire of things that are easy to do and are not directly related to politics, I really want to rip off what Star Kid did during the pandemic, where they just did plays, but over this setup, basically. They would just read lines. I don't know.
Like a staged reading or stage
Yeah,
reading?
like a staged reading. But I was thinking what would be really fun, and I just
They did it at the
I don't
Mueller
even know that. Yeah, I don't even know that I'm gonna go through with this, because it sounds like effort. But let me know if this sounds interesting, and be honest if it doesn't. Do you think it would be interesting to watch a group of people that have never, like, basically it's like a writing club, and everybody but the author of the play is totally unaware of what the play is going to be, and you just get assigned parts, and then you just read your part live? Do you
That
think that
sounds
would be
awesome.
fun?
That's good.
Mhm.
As long as
Yeah.
I get to write the play. I'm
Oh,
down
well,
to be the writer.
Okay.
No, just get a
All
book
right.
of one-act plays, maybe.
Yeah, but I
One-act
also
I was
think
plays
it'd
thinking
be
about
easier.
having
fun.
5-act plays. You know, a little bit.
It's only 3 acts.
No,
I would
5
very
acts,
much
but they're all
enjoy
short.
having characters like, what was the one I came up with for that short story? Like Karate Dan. Like Matt's playing Karate Dan, the Karate Man. And
Yeah.
like that shit would
Yeah,
be
guy's
really
if one of us is choosing characters for the other one, then it'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna make Jake this person.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm
This
saying. I
individual.
want to be the writer.
Yeah. All right. Tell you what, I will write. We can consider doing this or not. I'll write one. And if you guys ever get squirrely, I
You know
want
what might
Nadia to be
be-
in it though.
You know what might be easier? Yeah, we can get people from the chat involved. What might be easier is to just rewrite an existing play.
Ooh.
Like that would be funny, right? Like a fucked up version of Shakespeare or something. I don't know. Like it's like just put Beavis and Butthead in Star Wars or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something goofy
Yeah.
like that.
Just be like, all right, everybody, what impressions can you do? Like, I do a halfway decent Jimmy Starr. It'd be amazing to have him as Obi-Wan. Yeah.
Andrea, Jimmy Stewart was a famous actor.
Oh.
He was in a famous Christmas movie called It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know.
Is that the guy who does that comedy show?
No,
Oh.
that's Jon Stewart.
Oh. Is that
Yeah.
no wait, that's the guy who is in the X-Men movies, right?
No,
Oh.
that's Patrick
Oh
Stewart.
my god, the parts have casting for them, but the casting is just it's Hollywood people. So it's like Matt playing The Rock playing Scrooge. That
Oh,
shit
that's
would be
good.
amazing.
Yeah, that's funny as shit.
It's
Or
Andrea
instead
playing
of
Sophie Louise Dreyfus.
yeah, instead of
playing-
Christmas Carol, oh, maybe we could do it for Christmas. Instead of a Christmas Carol, it's like a Simpsons Christmas Carol, where
Yes.
Andrea has to be Homer being Scrooge,
I can
and
do that.
and
That'd be
groundskeeper
amazing.
Willie is Bob Cratchit, played by Sandy Shellis.
Yes.
And Jake is Sideshow Bob as the Ghost of Christmas Past and stuff like that. It's funny as
Yeah.
shit.
Still Kelsey Grammer.
I have to use the bathroom. I'll return momentarily. Do not take this as an invitation to end the show. I do not consent.
I am fading though.
Oh God, the gang, the smell in this room is actually offensive to me. I didn't think.
And you know, it's like my dad used to tell me when I was a teenager: if you can smell yourself, we've all been smelling you for days.
Yeah. On the way home, I was like, "Oh man, the car's a little ripe. I might have left something in my gym bag." And then I got out. And I was like, "It's me.
No, it's me. It's me.
I
That's funny.
swear.
And you're like, what the fuck is that smell? Oh, wait a second.
It's the worst. I hate it. I can't. I'm gonna dive into a bubbly hot bath. Okay, it won't be bubbly hot, but it'll have bubbles and be hot, and it's gonna feel amazing to get the grease off my skin.
You know what? This is what I'm nervous about.
Mm.
Vaccines go away.
What's up?
And
Hey,
they're taught to children incorrectly. Like, we got rid of vaccines because they're bad. How many years? This is my question. How many? Let's say, here's the scenario and then the question. 1, starting next year, vaccines are illegal and they start mandating in schools, like starting at early ages, teaching that vaccines are bad and this is why we got rid of them, right? And it's all bullshit, but this is what they're teaching. How long before no one remembers vaccines being good?
I have an actual answer to this, but Andrea, if
months.
you want to go first.
6 months. But like, because you know, eventually people die and they're just going to be like, well, that's not because of a lack of vaccine, that's because of magic or something weird, right? They start to, I don't know.
Yeah,
how
people
crazy
already
does it
believe in
get?
magic. Yeah, 6 months I think is a very conservative law. Like maybe 2 weeks is probably more fucking. But yeah, go on, Jake.
I think I have cold comfort in that. I don't think it's in that regard like culturally permanently lost knowledge. I don't think it's going to get as bad as you're imagining, but not for reasons that should comfort us. I think, including like with the structure of how America works, like our rights are gonna be halved basically, but they're not gonna totally go away. And I don't know this, I'm just guessing, but my theory is, we're not against Republicans arbitrarily. Like at the end of the day, they do a bad job of running things, and they're gonna screw up, and they're gonna pooch it so badly that I do think that in 4 years, even if Trump tries to stay in power or whatever, I do think he's gonna lose, or the Republicans are gonna lose, and they're gonna get replaced with, despite our efforts, probably insufficient Democrats and yada yada.
Probably
yada.
further right wing if you look at the recent trajectories.
Maybe, but the thing that makes it cold comfort is that only is going to happen because America is going to suffer so much over the next 4 years. And I don't think it's going to be just minorities. Hey, good for you, minorities. Like, I think that stuff with the hating on minorities and what have you, yeah, they're going to do plenty of it. But they don't, like, Trump doesn't actually give a fuck about any of that. What they're here to rob us. That's it. That's all Republicans ultimately are here to do. They're here to rob us. So they're going to fucking raid the coffers. And we're going to have to build something decent out of what's left. And that is a exhausting prospect that I'm trying to get ready for.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, and I will, I remember Matt last week was like trying to have like one of those like wholesome moments of learning that I completely rejected. And I want to affirm my rejection of it is that I hope if you voted for Trump,
What was
I
the
hope you
topic?
suffer.
What was the subject?
If you vote for Trump, I hope you get deported. If you vote for Trump, I hope you get sick. If you vote for literally, like, I don't give a fuck about you. Again, we shouldn't be wishing.
I think everyone
agreed. They're
agreed.
victims, but like
Everyone
vote for
agreed
Trump-
with where I landed on that. You don't deserve to be deported. You don't deserve to get sick and die, but you can fucking earn it.
I disagree.
And
with
they have
that.
earned
I
being
disagree.
deported, and they have earned getting sick and die. They have worked for it, and now
I
you got it.
agree with half.
I'm not
of
going to
your
take joy in it.
statement. I will take immense joy. I will parade. If I still have free speech in the future for whatever reason, I will celebrate. I will do. This is what I did during the start of COVID when people actually wore masks, you know, unlike now, you know, by the way, just saying. But like when people who like were anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers were dying, I did like a segment on my show. Like this is like 6 months into my show of cheerleading. I did like a whole like, oh, anti-vaxxer on the deathbed. Ha 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 ha. Like I read their like dying words or whatever. And I was celebrating it. I thought it was awesome then. I think it's going to be even more awesome in the future. I personally cannot wait. The more the merrier. It's going to be great. Whether or not we get to celebrate together, that'll be one thing in regards to free speech. But you'll bet your sweet ass Bippy, I will be cheerleading from the sidelines in any way, shape, and form when these guys start dropping like flies.
Yeah, because that's why. Dave Chappelle let me down in a lot of ways, but I will forever be grateful for that one clip because that's why.
That's all.
That's my attitude for 4 years.
I am generally pretty wholesome. It's undeniable.
You are. No. That's like if Matt was a pirate. You come by, you're expecting to get robbed. Bird. He's like, no, I just wait. What?
It's like birds.
Yeah.
I just met that. This is the thing. There is a lot of innocence on the planet. I just feel like I can't spend all of my time focused on the madness. There's a lot of innocents that are going to be affected. Little chipmunks running around. Those monkeys that escaped. Good. Be fucking free, right? Like, I don't know. I want to get back to being vaccinated in America is going to end up being like one of those things where it's like, oh my God, you're vegan. Oh my God, you're vegetarian. It's so like, okay, whatever, you're into yourself. It's like, oh my God, you're vaccinated. Like, I feel like that's where we're headed, right? Like, because if you wear a mask in public right now, people are like, oh God, okay, you're overly concerned, or you think you're better than everyone, or you think somehow you're doing something that we should all be doing what you're doing. Okay, whatever.
Yep.
So, like, we're already there. That's inevitably where our society takes everything. And so I keep thinking, like, adopt senior dogs and cats like Sandy was doing, right? Like, the very next pet I get is going to be like some little old dog, and I'm going to spoil the shit out of them for like their remaining years. And they're going to be like, oh my God, this is awesome. And just that connection and that energy between me and that animal is going to be, it inevitably is going to be one of the most important things in the second half of my life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, so that's what people need to focus on. This stuff is important. There's a lot of work to do, a lot of analysis and discussion and fighting, but fuck, man, you have to worry about, it's not even the less fortunate. You just have to worry about the innocence in the world. And that's what I really get freaked out about.
Can I give a shout out to, it was either today or yesterday, I don't know what time it is Transgender Day of Remembrance, you know, where people mourn all the dead transgender people.
Yeah, that was
you
all
know.
day.
So I just wanted to point that out as the token of this program. You know, I have to mention it. And I don't want to end up like Sarah McBride or anything. Got to shout out the remembrance.
There's something I want to share with everyone.
Would like to encourage everybody who the right hates to live in spite and not gloss over those words. Literally, just because we make them angry, that is a reason for us to keep on keeping on. Because fuck them. If I accomplish nothing else, if America just slowly goes into the meat grinder, I will be here as long as I possibly can, just to make their days a little bit worse.
Sure.
That's my vow.
I would agree with that. It's so my
It's all
opinion is like,
one
as
time.
someone who's tried to kill myself, I've attempted suicide about 5 or 6 times in my life. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd much rather watch the show because if I'm gonna die at the end of it anyway, at least I get some entertainment. So
Yeah.
Check it out. I just saw this today. Assigned Media, daily coverage of anti-trans propaganda. You got to check this out. They've got some very good people writing and making content for this. This is going to be a good one. I'm going to be reading this daily. It's going to be part of my daily reading from now on. I'll share this on my show again more formally, but I just saw this today. Yeah, this is great stuff. You know, they've got a library. So,
well, one of the
who needs
very
school?
first things that the Nazis in Germany did when they gained power is they destroyed any and all records of transgender people ever existing. They went through all the medical clinics and just burned all the books. So like the famous picture you see of Nazi book burnings, most of them are actually just transgender health and history. Then also when the Nazis were in power before the 1940s, they sent excavators all across the world, you know, like an Indiana Jones, to go look for relics and look for history. So they literally ransacked historical documents from all sorts of cultures all around the world, especially in the Middle East, especially in places like Egypt. You know, Egyptology was a burgeoning thing at this time. So they literally went across the world to eradicate any mention of transgender people throughout the entire history of the world. So, I mean, there's still like, you know, we still have a lot of, you know, like historical figures or whatever we can point to, but a lot of that is just gone. And, you know, the internet, they're going to try to do that with AI. It's just rewrite the internet, you know, so that even if you want to look up transgender history, you're just not going to be able to do that in like 5 to 10 years, right? So it's going to be important to, you know, at least keep that knowledge.
Nadia, I really appreciate it. I'm cutting you off. You've put a lot of money into the show tonight. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate it. Every now and then I'll get to a point where I'm like, you've done enough.
Well, that's a great message because COVID is a lot of times when people like to downplay the current reality of COVID, they say things like during the height of COVID, as if it's in the past tense, when 1 in 4 Americans are predicted to have long COVID, according to the CDC. The only reason we don't know is because we don't test anything. We have inadequate healthcare. You know, like the infectious variants right now are immune evasive. They're vaccine evasive in certain areas. Most people aren't vaccinated. About like 18% of Americans got the recent vaccine round. So, you know, I'm just saying should be very more concerned with it at this moment because we are in a pandemic and it's only going to get worse, especially when bird flu synchronizes things.
I'd like to make sure that I'm following Nadia on social media. So can you like just make sure like I don't know if you use the same name or not. I've recently followed back 1,000 people on Blue Sky. I may have missed yours. I just want to be sure. Just send me a DM or something.
I haven't followed anyone back on Blue Sky. I'm afraid to follow people.
Letterhack@gmail.com.
What if I follow someone
you don't have
and
as
no one
many
else?
followers.
And then like people like I can't do it. I can't follow. I can't use Blue Sky. You ruined it for me, Letterhack. There's too many people watching.
You do that thing where you follow everyone back.
Well, then
you
I have
go
to
through meticulously and make sure you have 200 less people you're following than are following. I'm just kidding.
Then I have to actually see their posts. I don't want to see all of your people's posts. I want to see cute dog videos. I want to see like video games, and I want to see like, you know, drawings of cute dogs. You know, like that's what I want to see. I don't want to see people talking about.
Oh my God, that's what Blue Sky is. I mean,
I don't want to see people talking about like, oh, my friend just died. Fuck your friend. Fuck you. I don't want to see this. Okay, I don't like this anymore. That's why I got off of Twitter. You know, I don't want to see. You know, and I have time that I set where I look up. Let me watch all the videos of the dismembered children today, just so I get that. I have time set up for that. That's not what I use social media for. In other words, I'm really lazy, and so.
Here we go. Nadia is on Blue Sky, everyone.
Heck yeah. Oh, that's an easy name.
Well, she's following all 3 of us. So
hell yeah. By the way, you got Andrea, you got to come up with the sandwich I got to eat.
And we all followed her back.
That's right. I'll come up with it and I will. We'll
Give
talk
me a
about
couple
it
of days. Yeah,
we'll talk about it after the show. We'll set it up. I got a great idea.
Okay.
You know, you ever watch Scooby-Doo? You ever see them eat the giant like quadruple decker sandwiches?
Called a Dagwood.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? All right.
Yeah, from the old comic strip
Blondie.
Blondie, with her husband Dagwood was always making these huge sandwiches, and
we're gonna make we're gonna Scooby-Doo it. It'll
All
be
right.
delicious. And make a Dagwood. I was trying to work them both in, and I didn't. Yeah, I
I've
can't
never-
wait.
Never forget when I was a little kid looking at the comic strips, the comics page in the newspaper every day. I was like, "Ah, Blondie is so hot." It's like it's not right. It's like a drawing.
Oh, it never even occurred to me that it wasn't right. I was like, yeah, Calvin's mom. What's that soap opera comic?
Which one? Pierce Morgan, MD? Not Pierce Morgan.
No.
Rex Morgan. Rex
Mary
Morgan,
Worth, I
MD.
think.
Which one?
Mary Worth, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Let me see.
or like for better or worse, or
Mary Worth comic strip. I'm looking this
how
up.
about Sally?
I don't think I saw Sally. Yeah, it was definitely Mary Worth. That was in the Detroit Free Press. And
Sally just sounds like a child's name to me. Like Sally is like eternally you're 8 years old. Like the idea that like a
Yeah.
43-year-old is named Sally. What?
although
Huh?
you know what? Sally Fields,
Sally Forth.
the British comedian, eventually
She
changed my
9?
mind on that.
10?
I hope not. She better not have. She didn't have my permission to.
I've been listening to a lot of Vince Guaraldi. Vince Guaraldi
Vince.
Trio. He did all the Peanuts, Christmas and Thanksgiving, and
I'm allergic to peanuts. I'm
man,
just kidding. Fuck no, I'm not. What do you thought I was serious?
that stuff is so good. Oh my god, I love it so much. It's like jazz, but it's also comic strip jazz.
How do you feel
Okay.
about adding music to comics or books? Is it like audiobooks, for example, like sometimes have like musical backgrounds, just like ambient tracks or stuff like that for like horror story? Like, how do you feel about that? It's hard to
One-
control it, right? Because like if you're reading a physical book, like, that's part's kind of hard to control. but-
Musical interlude, fine. Over the okay, so I was watching a documentary about Hope Solo, U.S. women's soccer goalie, controversial,
Okay.
and they play music nonstop. There's always music playing the whole time, and I'm like, why are you trying to make me trying to guide how I feel? Why are you trying to guide my feelings through it? Just let me absorb. This is nonfiction. Let me absorb it and judge for myself. But the music is like, oh, and now this part is heightened, and now this part is going up and up. And so I really don't like that.
Really?
So, but if it's like, like how they do it in Peanuts, like, have you seen a Charlie Brown Christmas?
Oh yeah, when I was young.
So it's always like between scenes or like while they're ice skating. And you're like, yeah, okay, I get this. They could be ice skating to that music. You know what I mean? It's not trying to get you to feel a certain way while the story's going on. So I need that separate.
Well, like one thing I like doing is, if I'm reading a certain book, like I will, sometimes I'll like light a candle of a specific scent or like listen to like an ambient like loop track of like, just something to like get my mind in the setting of like I am enjoying that. It doesn't even need to be like guiding or like, sometimes it's just something to set the tone in my head of like this is this is how
Yeah.
I focus on. Maybe
Totally.
this is like an ADHD thing. I don't know, but like it helps me like focus on the actual subject matter because sometimes if it's just me reading something or like just watching something or whatever, it's
Yeah, I get that.
sometimes
And
hard.
it also makes a difference if it's like well-known commercial music. Like look
Sure.
at that Marvel movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one, the soundtrack is like another character. It's part of
Yeah.
the story. It's not just music they threw in there to be like, oh, cool music. I love that song. It's like it's relevant to the story. The story can't exist the same way without the music. It's very cool. And then in 2, they tried to do it again. And then by 3, it's like if you took the music out of this movie wouldn't even really be anything. So there's like I forget there was a show where it was Kevin Bacon. So like it's even harder to know exactly what it was because he's in everything. But there was a
He's in
show
Friday
where
the 13th. I forgot. He was in
Right.
the first one.
But like there's these, he's like a movie producer of some sort, and he's sitting at dinner with an amateur documentarian, and she's complaining about how she got a copyright strike and had to take this song out of her documentary. It just killed the whole documentary because it was so perfect. And he makes the case, this is very accurate. He goes, actually, people were responding to the song, not your shit documentary or whatever. Like, if your documentary can't stand on its own without that commercial music property, what are you doing? Like, and that goes for anything, even fiction. Like, any scene, if you want me to feel a certain way, play that one song that makes me feel that way, or just deliver the scene in a way that goes, oh shit.
Well, sometimes, you know,
Like, if there's a
you are
score in the
writing
background,
something,
that's different.
you can have like a specific song in mind, you know, and then you tailor the scene to that song, you know, and then if you rip the song out, like
Yeah.
the content could still be good. It's just like, you know, like that camera cut is tied to
That's
that
the
beat or
first
something.
Guardians. I think that's the first Guardian of the Galaxy.
I
The
gotta see
whole
'em.
movie's catered to the soundtrack.
That sounds cool.
I'm
There's
definitely a fan of mixed media in
Yeah.
most cases, but like with anything, it can't, like, it's not it's like seasonings. It can't just be, it's always good. It's always appropriate.
so
It's art. It's got to be right.
now look at the first Rocky movie, and at the end, when Adrian's in the ring and he goes, "Where's your hat?" Right? She's like, "I love you, Rocky." He goes, "I love you." They start playing that theme song, and you're like, this is great, because that's where that song originated.
Yeah.
With that movie. Like, you didn't know it before that. If you did, you're that one dude.
Well, yeah.
But like,
having a custom soundtrack is also, it's just,
Right.
it's the way to get around
That's totally
that
different.
burden for sure.
Like, there's this one random movie line, when it's delivered, I get teary-eyed. I don't know why. It's the perfectly delivered line. It's not that meaningful at all. But
I
it
really
makes
hope
me
you cut to, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
No, but I do get a little choked up, and for all I know, there's music playing in that scene. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. And
What's
I
this?
like.
You got to tell us the line.
Have you seen American Splendor? Paul Giamatti or Giamatti?
Oh no, I haven't.
It's about the real life comic strip or comic book writer Harvey Pekar.
I gotta check it out.
And there's these abstract moments in the movie. Sometimes Harvey Pekar is like actually in it. It's weird, but he's, Harvey Pekar wrote his own comics based on his life, American Splendor, and it was kind of tongue in cheek. And so one of the stories he told, like for a comic story, was about how he realized there was another Harvey Pekar, and then he starts going through the phone book, looking at all these different Harvey Pekars, and he does it over the years, and he realizes, oh, this guy must have had a son, whatever, and like, and so he's doing the bit in the movie by just monologuing, and then he gets to the end of it, and he goes, "This is the line." He goes, "Now those are the other Harvey Pekars." And it's the way he says the line that just stopped me dead in my tracks. And I was like, that's not supposed to be like this amazing thing. But he delivered the line so fucking perfectly that every time I watch the movie, I'm like, here it goes, man. You
just watch the whole movie. It's just the waiting room for that exact moment. You're in the lobby.
Now those are the other Harvey Pekars. That might not even be the actual line, but the way he says it is just one of those things where you're like, that guy's an actor, man.
I know Paul Giamatti has had several lifetimes worth of compliments thrown his way, but I bet if he heard that would make his whole day. That there's somebody out there who's like, he acted the hell out of that scene.
It's like, wow, random. Thanks, man. There's another. I won't spoil this. There's a show he was on called, well, I won't ruin it, but there's a scene where you think he's crying and it turns out he's laughing. That was pretty good too. Because that made everyone watching that scene go, oh wow. Like he can pull some shit off. Remember the first time I saw him, he played Pig Vomit in the Howard Stern movie. His
Oh, jeez.
name in the credits is Pig Vomit.
Oh God.
Remember that?
I
He's
gotta
like
know.
the studio guy, the studio executive, and Howard Stern never names him. He just calls him Pig Vomit. He's like always telling him he's doing it wrong. He's not reading the advertisers at the right time. And it's funny. He's like, he wants him to tell the weather, like the time and the weather at the top of the hour, no matter what. And he goes, that doesn't always work. And he's like, you have to do it. So Howard Stern goes in the next day and starts telling about his grandmother passed away. And it's this heartfelt story. And he goes, and it's 12 p.m. Eastern on the East Coast. It's 64 degrees outside.
I did literally have to do that at the top of every hour. The time,
You
the
did?
weather, and then my job once upon a time was the time, the weather, and then the news. And I would do 5
WNBC. He like makes him say WNBC. He like makes him say it. Anyway, Paul Giamatti's great.
Oh, well,
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyhow, it's late, you guys. What do you want to do?
You know what I really want to do, which wouldn't be let's do some cards.
Let's see. I got does anyone have any hearts?
Go fit?
Fuck
I got a fish
you.
right here.
Oh,
It's jellyfish.
it's not a fish. Technically,
Got fish in the name.
there's no spine. I don't
Does
understand
anyone
why.
have Jack of Diamonds bisexual inspiration, David Bowie?
No, however, I have something very similar in color. We're gonna
Ugh.
keep America great.
God damn it!
Donald Trump, gold plated, graded by
Anybody
WCG, 10 gem mint. How amazing is that? 23 karat gold.
Go
Donald
fish
Trump.
indeed. How much can you get for that, you think?
I have no idea. I got
My bad.
Is it over? Are we
Yep.
is that
I
it?
think so.
Yeah.
Can they
My-
hear it? Are
My
we still
computer's tried to shut itself off twice because it's after 1 a.m.
on? Oh, and you have like a timer. Notice that the movie here says Wednesday and not Thursday. Notice that. Like, imagine if
Yeah.
we were here on Thursday, like somebody wanted, in a coup attempt.
We never should have incorporated this thing. That was our
No.
major flaw.
It's not in the other intro that I made. So.
Well,
I really should make another one of these eventually.
somebody should. Anyway, good night, guys.